They can hear us now.
Can you hear us now?
I've
Can you hear?
clicked live.
Hello.
Oh,
There we
fuck,
go.
I need to turn that off.
What? Turn what off?
I had stream open and it has audio.
Watching your own stream while you're streaming.
I have it up so I can monitor it. I
You need
There
to
you
share your
go.
chat so I can see them both.
Yeah. They
Ooh,
just sent you.
I'm
missed
sending out an announcement to my Discord.
I'm so lonely.
How do we do this? How do you do this again? Join.
Ah.
I click join.
Yeah,
Joining Totless.
I sent you
Get started.
There we go.
There's someone
Okay.
barking. I'm sorry. What?
That's
They
a
There
start.
you go.
started it. They started it.
That'll start.
Yeah, they started it. It's their fault, not mine.
We gotta bark that. Hello.
I don't. Something like reset in all of my Discord stuff
Uh-huh.
to where like or not even Discord, like Twitch stuff.
Uh-huh.
So all of my like I keep getting pop-ups of like, did you know that you can do this? And I'm like, yeah, I've
They're
been
calling you
streaming
a
for
scrub.
4
Oh.
years. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, huh?
Nuh-uh.
They're calling you a scrub, yeah.
I'm gonna have cheesy dreams about that.
The freaking go.
They're calling me Kirby. I'm Rose.
Kirby?
I'm not
What?
Kirby. Kirby, like Puyo Puyo Kirby. Like from Nintendo. Not Kirby like damn.
I mean, would you not want to be either of those?
Oh, being Kirby would be cool. As long as I can go back to being me.
Yeah.
If I can go back to being me, being
That
Kirby
is
would be cool.
cool.
You wouldn't want to be Kirby 24/7?
No, I like having TNA and Kirby has neither.
TNA?
Tit and ash?
Oh, sorry. I'm stupid.
No, you.
Damn.
Well, listen, I'm wrestling tilt, so I'm like
No,
total
you're-
nonstop action. What?
No,
That's
no,
not-
you're a smart boy. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. Yeah. Who's a good boy?
I went to college, technically. It was a technical college, so it was technically
Uh-huh.
a college.
Yeah, you're real
Thank you very
smart,
much.
right? Yeah. Yes, you are.
So she's gonna have a fun hour.
It's gonna, yeah, it's
Or
an
have-
hour. We're only going for, why are you fucking with my
4
ear?
hours.
4 hours. It's gonna be a lovely.
If it's any
4
longer than that,
hours.
you'll need to go to a hospital. So.
I hope I don't have to go to a hospital after this.
Oh, QB.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Yeah.
I'm
Hello,
sure you'll
Cube-
do
Cube-
fine.
QB.
You'll have
That's
a
the
good
artist, right?
time.
I know that. QB?
I
Is
don't know.
that-
I know QB, but QB, do you draw?
I don't know. I could be mistaking them for somebody else.
QB is the
completely.
artist,
QB does
yeah?
cool editing and stuff.
They are the artist? Hold on, let me look at this.
No,
thing.
yeah, that's the.
No, that's a
They've
different
done a
person.
bunch
I don't
of.
think that's...
Oh, I know 2 QBs. That's what's happening.
That
I
is what it's
remember you.
happening.
Never
Oh.
mind. There's 2 QBs and you're a different QB. I see what's happening. I'm stupid. I'm not stupid, but that was stupid.
Hello, chat.
Hello.
Do that.
Are you guys excited? Are you? Are you?
I hope
Are
they're
you?
excited.
Are you?
I'm excited.
You're excited?
Yeah. So a
I'm
long
very
time
excited.
Yeah.
coming.
I've been looking
long
forward to
time.
this.
Yeah.
And
Really?
yes, I've actually really been looking forward to it because it's been really nice just to like chit chat with you and whatnot. But like, I've been very like hesitant towards like getting involved with this because you can ask Bosch about this. I was like, I feel like I know it's not like how it's supposed to be, but I feel very I feel like it's disrespectful almost to reach out and ask, people or content creators
She's
to like,
intimidated by
hey,
you.
do you wanna? Okay, that as well. We talked about this before, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You, we've talked about this before.
Uh-huh.
I shouldn't be intimidated, okay? I know it's stupid. I know it's all in my head,
Uh-huh.
but
Uh-huh.
that's just how it is.
Tell me one scary thing about me. I dare you.
Yeah. Go on.
Everything.
Don't act like you're any fucking better. You're scared of me too, pussy.
I've been better though. I reached out to you for the podcast stuff. We
I guess
talked.
that's fair. I guess
I've gotten better, and I'm proud of that because
You
I'm
should
growing
be proud
as
of
a person.
yourself. Yes, you should. Now, why am I scary? Huh? Are you doing ahegao over there, girl?
No, I was drinking games up. Sorry,
You
my
should got new
flavor?
mouth was
faces.
dry.
What flavor?
Oh yeah, that as well. I do have new faces. I can also kind of do that.
What flavor?
Yeah?
Which one is
Don't
it?
do it for free. Don't do it for free. You should do that for.
No, I mean
Oh.
the spinny heist.
Oh my god, we're both this together.
Yeah.
I can do that too, guys. Don't put your finger in my mouth.
Why?
You wouldn't like it if I put my finger in your mouth.
I don't care.
I'm not going to put my finger in your mouth.
Pussy.
I'm not a pussy. I'm a man. I'm a big.
You can be a man
strong...
and a pussy.
Yeah, I know, but I am one of those and not the other.
Okay. So what's
And
scary about me? Huh?
Just in my head, I've always like associated you and like with. I don't want to say professional, like.
Yeah. Did you
I
not
don't know
see
what to
the...
say. Like I can't properly describe it.
Were you not here for the hour of stuff that was mostly her, honestly?
Yeah.
The reason why we're late?
There's nothing scary about me, and also I am not professional. Have you been to my streams? All I do is talk about funny piss jokes and cum jokes and buttholes and stuff. It's not professional.
Yeah, well, tell that to my brain. It's not gonna change anything. Just
And
hope.
you
I don't
can't
know.
say shit about you not being professional because you literally just won an award for best event of the fucking year that was very professionally done, and you had a whole fucking like array of people working on that shit. So you can't come in here. Oh, I'm not professional.
Yeah. That's what she got this.
Did you just pull this out?
Yeah, it's the trophy. The VR Chat Awards.
It looks so much
How
better
do you
in this
have
work, by the way.
this?
How do I have it? I don't ask.
Thief.
I did not steal it. Excuse me. I was part of the team that won that award. So technically,
I'm
at least
teasing
like
you.
5% of it is mine. Why?
Because it's funny.
Don't rub my forehead.
It's good luck.
It's not good luck. It's my forehead.
Oh, right. It's a rabbit's foot. Fine. Sorry.
Don't rub my... Okay, you need
Why
to
would you throw
calm
that at a
yourself.
cat on the internet?
No, but like, okay, going back to it, I can't properly explain my mindset. It's just coming from. I think it stems from like, kind of where you like started from. How it's like you originated from VR chat, but then you like
Aw.
branched out, and I look at you and think of you as like a very successful, established, professional, in quotation marks, if you wanna say so. But like, that's just how it is in my head. I can't properly like explain more than that, and because of it, just it feels intimidating. I know it isn't intimidating. You're awesome. We've had plenty of like chit chats and we talked and whatnot, and it's like it's nothing.
Yeah.
But then
yeah,
when
yeah,
it comes to actual events and actual stream, engagements, doing stuff like that, then it's like my brain just shuts down.
Do you think that's because of the history of VR chat culture where everyone thinks that everybody is clout chasing and you worry about being perceived that way?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, well, I'm
that
gonna tell you that's
I
fucking
would even argue.
stupid.
Yes, but that is definitely where this like whole getting you on this podcast and how I'm so hesitant towards asking people and whatnot. That definitely stems from that because
Oh yeah.
well, I back when like I played VHS the most actively without streaming it, that was during the period when that was the whole thing where everyone was cloud chasing.
The streamer lobbies,
So
as they were called.
yeah,
Yeah, I always remember like seeing you around on like the directory, but never actually seeing you in those lobbies and being like, I wonder why she doesn't go in them. Is it just because you were scared of that shit?
partially because I didn't want to be branded as a cloud chaser, but partially also because I just wanted to do my own thing, like
That
build
makes
my own
sense.
path or whatnot.
That makes perfect sense because that
I
shit
kn-
gets really loud and crowded. You can't really individualize yourself there outside of your like cliche jokes. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
okay, this is actually a great segue into one of the things that I actually wanted to talk
Okay.
about. This is
Yeah.
perfect. Love Raiders also.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
It's actually perfect timing for the first proper topic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so on the topic of whole VIA chat and all that, basically, since you were kind of like very active back then as well, and like that was when you were also really experiencing the game from like a normal viewer's
Yeah.
like, or not viewer, from a normal person's perspective. What would be like specific things you wish could come back? Whether it's
What
like
could come back?
tech wise, hardware
Oh.
wise, or community wise, or social wise. Like it can be anything. If you could pick like specific things.
Okay. This is gonna make me sound like a fucking like VR chat boomer, and I know it is. I know it is. So don't get on my fucking back about it. Also, I'm not normal, so you saying me normal is fucking comedy. The things that I miss the most are probably more related to hanging out off stream and like making friends with people and then having fun with them on stream after you already established friendship with them. Because I feel like the biggest issue that I had with VR chat streaming is that like you knew, like air quotes around it, knew everybody, but you didn't know anybody. So everybody knew like their like public facing persona and they knew like all that, but you didn't get to know them. So there were a few people that I got to know really, really well off stream and I felt like I had a really good connection and I felt like those streams were the most fun. And I feel like it's really hard to organically find that nowadays because I feel like everybody who does VR chat nowadays is like in their own lobby by themselves or in a very close group or they're afraid of public lobbies and just things in that kind of vein. So I feel like it's kind of like the sense of like being able to run into people who don't suck, for lack of
Yeah.
better word.
And for a long time, and I think that's why people started being more secluded to little groups and themselves, was at a certain point, like any public lobby, if you were a streamer, you were crashed. You know, people were stream sniping you, running around saying like dumb racist stuff or whatever, trying to get you banned. So a lot of people, they got over feared from that, and then they just started secluding themselves. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that stuff has died down or not, because I myself haven't really been to Publix much lately.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it has lessened in that extent, but it's a product of that, I'd say.
Yeah, and
Partly.
the other thing, and this is again gonna make me sound like old fart, but I feel like a lot of people, even in modern day, are gonna agree with me on this. Is back then, kids weren't able to afford any kind of VR, so kids just weren't in VR chat. So there were no annoying like 8-year-olds like I don't want to play this stuff everywhere. It's just like shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So they were too poor Omega Lol to get headsets because there wasn't any budget thing friendly, like a budget friendly thing for them. But it also was annoying because like then people couldn't, who actually wanted them, couldn't afford them either, which is like annoying too. So double edged sword. Yeah.
Yeah.
The questies.
Is that still what they
The-
get called?
I mean, I still call them that. The
Kind of.
13-year-olds that get a VR headset for Christmas.
Yeah. And then they come on and scream, and it's just like, oh,
It's like, where are your
I
parents?
I
busy.
wouldn't say that like Quest being the sole reason why, because back then there was definitely a stronger, tight knit like community
Yeah.
in VRChat. Like more people were like,
Mm-mm-mm.
there wasn't all these like micro communities segregated from each other. But
Yeah.
I do think that Quest and subsequently like children being so frequent in this game, that definitely contributed to people pulling themselves back and establishing these groups and communities to
Mm-hmm.
get away from that basically. I do
Yeah.
strongly think that it was a big contributing factor.
I do too, but I also think that like even then the groups now, or at least from my perspective as someone who doesn't really hang out in VR chat as much nowadays, it feels like there's very little like crossover. Like for example, I don't see like Boshi in some other group, or I don't see someone from some other group in your group, or like whatever. Like there's very few like cross contamination like points for people to mingle more. So it just feels very
Yeah.
locked away and samey group wise now, which I think is good in some ways because it allows for chemistry, but it doesn't allow for people who might have chemistry to, bring themselves in without it being like an awkward or forced kind of thing. Yeah.
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 Um I would say actually in our case when it comes to that, then like with the whole like only Nekos circle, I would say. And when I say
Yeah.
circle, I don't mean specifically just our communities, but I also mean like
Yeah.
friends communities. So we have only
Mm-mm.
Nekos, then we have like
V-Stray.
people who aren't necessarily part of any group. They're part of like close friends with us. So like Kidden
Mm-mm.
as an example. Then you have
Yeah.
V Stray, which is another similar group. You have also
Mm.
Foxley recently.
Yeah.
We're all kind of like technically I would say we're all in the same community.
Yeah, I
And
feel
I
like
think
We're all
that,
that's
yes,
friends.
there's
something
more of a
that
bubble happening.
yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like for us that is something that we have succeeded at. I would actually go as far as to
Mm.
say that
I agree with
because it,
that.
even a lot like I'm not specifically talking about streaming. Like outside of that, that is something that benefits everyone because we're not all in the exact same Discord, exact same, one single place. We're all spread out. We have our own smaller groups that we hang out, but there is this big environment still.
Mm.
And that does kind of to some degree feel a bit like how it did back then. I feel like there's
Yeah.
comparable aspects at least.
It feels like one of the last remaining ones that I see though, which is just like, what happened? Where did everybody go? But yeah, I don't know. I miss the mm, I just miss the crossovers. It felt like
Yeah.
seeing people from different universes going, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say for myself, I'm trying to like branch out and reach out. Like I like Puck and his community. I've been
Mm,
granted he's kind of part of like the friend circle, but like I'm working on like doing a little collab with him. And even
cute.
then we did like a,
Hell
a, a
yeah.
bun off, like a competition of the buns, where it was like a bunch of bunny people. I only knew like two of them, but it was like
Oh.
it was nice to meet other people. And yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I haven't kept up with them. I'll say that myself. But
Mm.
it's a fun thing to like reach out to other people. And I think that's also partly what the Christmas event was. Like we got
Yeah, I
people we
loved
don't normally
that.
talk to. Like
Yeah,
getting Leaf,
it was
we, d-
nice.
we don't see her much around here, sadly.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
that
even
was
know
cool
that.
to get.
I know you kind of know Leaf, but I didn't know that you knew Leaf that well. So I was really surprised when she showed up, and I was
I
like, "My wife!" And I was like,
I
"Yeah!"
actually don't really know her that like we have had interaction. She
I
actually
don't really either.
participated in the 2023 event.
Mm.
But like aside from like small interactions here and there, they're not really part of our circle either. So it's not like someone I interact with on a daily basis, so to
Well,
speak.
yeah.
Yeah. And, like
Yeah.
Mm.
But
I know Leaf, but I don't have her friended. I've never really spoken with her one on one. I don't know her that well. I've
Huh.
just seen her. Yeah. We haven't
I
really
feel like even
interacted
she could
much.
kick your ass.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
You
100%.
don't know that.
She could
I
probably
do,
kick my
though.
ass.
I don't think she could kick your ass. I think she'd kick his ass, not yours. She's soft, but she's not.
I could kick her
She.
ass
No, you can't.
if I tried.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
You're
I
too
could.
chivalrous. You would never. You'd be like, you're a woman. I can't hit you.
You know what she's done to me? I have the right to kick her ass, like tenfold.
So do it then. Prove yourself.
I'm not gonna fight her right now. We're on a podcast.
Because you're scared.
I have
Yeah, it's
challenged her
okay.
to a boxing match. Thank you very much.
You're talking,
I
are you
want to
talking
settle
about
this in
Tot
the
or
ring.
Leaf?
Her.
Tot? Okay.
Yes.
No shit with Tot. That's different. I feel like you two
Yeah.
fight like two stray cats on the fucking street corner. That's different.
What do you?
Yeah.
I have great form.
What does that have to do with anything?
A stray cat on the street is not like a great competitor. I could at least juke and jab.
No. I have a good compare. Like we're more like. Have you seen those videos when there's two dogs barking at each other and it's just a gate that slides open, and when
Yeah,
you
and
slide
then
it
all of a
open,
sudden
they
they're
just,
nice to each other.
yeah, that's
Yes.
us.
Yes, that is 100% it.
You don't know that.
100% bark,
I could.
no bite.
I have bite. I can bite.
Okay, bite.
You're
There's two people
supposed to
here.
be a
Bite somebody.
bunny. You don't even have
I'm
the
not-
front
Come on.
teeth.
You don't
Bite
bite people on a
somebody.
podcast.
Oh, so you're saying I can bite and then you won't even put
I
on a
can
show for
bite.
the
It's
sweet
just
content, huh?
when the moment
Come
is right, I can bite.
Come on. My finger's right here. Come on.
I
You can do it.
ah it- ah
Yeah. You call that biting?
what
Stupid ass.
I bit you, okay? And there's proof. There's telegraphic proof.
Anyway, sorry, what?
Collab stuff, right? What were we talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know. You tell me. You're a big,
Um,
strong man. You can take the lead, can't ya?
Yeah, you know what? We were talking about streaming stuff, and
Yeah.
you've talked a lot about the advice that you've given many people. You've given like rating advice. You've given like me some advice.
Yeah.
One of the things you said for your
Mhm.
list of topics.
Mhm.
I have to scroll up because I wasn't prepared.
Mhm. Yeah.
Was one person asking you for advice on something, and then you gave a derail for 2 hours, and you
Oh,
give them
yeah.
advice on their bullshit.
Yeah, so what happens when I stream is sometimes someone will come in and be like, Rose, my girlfriend is mad at me because I did XYZ. And then I'll be like, yeah, no shit, because you didn't think about this and this. And then all of a sudden, everyone will be like, Rose, I have this going on and this going on. And then I'll be like, okay. And then I end up having to like catch up to chat, and they'll like get to the point where, because I'm so behind because I'm responding to every single message, they'll be like, just so you know, it's like 3:24 p.m. right now, and it'll be like 10 minutes later in once I get to it. And I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, I've it happened recently as well. I remember you were like, I'm gonna draw a bunch of my friends, or I'm gonna draw a bunch of people, and you took like 2 days on I mean, you drew one for me, and I appreciate it.
I did.
But it was over the span of 2 days and like 12 hours of streaming total.
Yeah, and I
to
got
get-
3 drawings done.
Yeah.
And they were just sketches with a little color too. They weren't like oopsie. It's that sweet ADHD. Let me have this.
She knows all about it.
Yep.
Last night you got distracted by chat for a while, didn't you? Trying to end, right?
That
they
happens
trap
every
you in hype
single
trains?
fucking time. No,
Do they do that
it's
to you?
just
No.
I hate ending.
I do too.
I hate clicking
the
the
only
end
reason
button.
I end is because I have a schedule for like everything in my life routine wise. So like I will forget to eat and stuff if I don't have it like on my schedule. So I have to end stream by a certain time, or else I won't have food in time, and then I won't go to bed with like a not super full tummy in time. So I get it, but they will sometimes literally, like, if a hype train is close, they'll start it just so that I can't leave because I'm too polite to leave in the middle of a hype train, and then they'll try and keep it going, like, and they'll wait until like it goes down to 1 second to like maximize the time that they can waste, and I'm like, so I understand because I also fucking hate hitting the end button because I don't want to go because I love them.
Yeah.
Non-parasocial.
Not.
To be clear.
It's different. It's
Mm.
chat. Like chat gives me energy. If I have,
Yeah.
there's been small instances where people like gather, like let's say we're doing an event or something, like Christmas event, and there's a bunch of people in the world, and they gather around us, and it's like that quickly becomes too much for me. But just seeing everyone in
Oh.
chat, that makes me happy. That makes me energized.
I feel the same way, honestly. It's. I said this before.
I
and
have
I
severe
don't
stage
mean it
fright
in a
in
bad
real
way.
life.
You
Just
do.
to
Me too. Me too, me too, me too. I talk about that all the time because I'm like terrified of like singing and stuff in front of other people, right? And they're like,
Yep.
"But Rose, you talk in front of a bajillion people every day." I'm like, "That's not the same, though. It's not the same. It's not."
my yeah.
But when it's like
Yeah.
chat,
I
I
think
think
a
it's 'cause you
big
can't see them.
Yeah,
yes.
numbers on
You
a
don't
screen.
see the like
Mm-mm-mm.
yeah.
It's not numbers. It's like a little. I've said this before, and don't take this
It's
the wrong way, anyone listening.
personalities.
You guys are like a pet, but like not a pet in the sense that I own you. A pet in the sense that like you're so cute and silly, and like it's just you can do no wrong. You're just a goofy, silly little guy. And I literally talk to my friends about my chat as if they are a cute cat that I have at home and shit. Because
That
it's
is
just like
actually
they're just so silly. Yeah.
yeah. No, that I think
Yeah.
that's a great way of putting it actually.
Yeah, they're like a pet, but not a pet.
Yeah.
You know? Like I don't own them. I don't control them. But I love them in the way I love a pet. Like I would die for them, and I would stick up for them, and I would like, take care of them and all that. But it's not in a parasocial way. It's not in a romantic way. It's not in a like I'm in love with you kind of way. Cause I'm not. Sorry. But
Damn. Sorry,
it's
chat.
more. It's more just like y'all are fucking sick, and I adore you. You know? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they've-
See, they
Here
won't
we
be
go.
controlled. They hive mind too.
Yep.
You have a
Yeah.
great chat for Hive Mind. Like I'll be watching and your chat
Yeah.
will just
Oh
like
yeah. Here,
one
let me
person
get
will
up and
post
grab
something.
some stuff.
Yeah,
Oops.
I know what she's grabbing.
Or no.
You know what I'm
Yep,
grabbing.
I know as well. Yep.
But like yeah, granted your chat kind of does that as well, where like one person will do like huzzah, and then like a bunch of other people will huzzah, or
It
or other
has
stuff like that.
yeah, it has gotten
Huzzah!
like a bit more in that direction, like for the past I would say
Yeah.
6 months or so. But
Yeah, that's good
yeah.
to have. That's the kind of chat that I want, where there's in jokes,
I
there's
think
things
a
that
good
people
balance.
do.
Yeah.
Having a good balance where you can have those like goofy moments where it's just hive mind mentality, and then also have those
Yeah.
moments where, like you were saying, how people actually have conversations and they talk about stuff that you can respond to and you have a dialogue. Like having both, I think is important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here, I grabbed the thing I wanted to show. Here, watch. They love this.
Hmm.
They
That-
love it. They're all either gonna sit down or they're gonna run here and they're gonna be like, yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, or they'll
See-
ring it back. See, isn't it
Yeah.
cute?
I
They're
think.
so cute
That's
and well
adorable.
behaved. They're so good.
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of ding dongs in our community. I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the dink donk.
Ding dong is like it's one of those universal things on Twitch. I feel it.
Yeah, it's like I'm getting your
Mhm.
attention. I'm ringing the bell.
Yeah.
Getting your attention. Hello, look at me. Look at me.
Yeah. Oh, you see Karen in chat? Karen's actually the one that got that clicker. So,
Ah.
I did a virtual meet and greet at TwitchCon, and the rest of VTBon, which is the group that I'm part of, it's just me, Buff Pup, Shy Bun, and Eye Candy. They were there in person, and Carolyn dropped off this clicker with them because I would not stop begging for it at the meet and greet. And then I clicked it once, and then the honey buns just went fucking feral for it. And I was like, they were like, do it every time we do this, do it every time. I was like, okay.
Literally, clicker training your chat is an
It
insane
should have been
thing.
me.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Are you clicker trained, Tot?
No.
Are you?
God no.
You could
No.
be.
Mm.
I am. My entire. Let me tell you a story, okay? You know, as a when you're a kid, or kids in
Yeah.
general,
Yeah.
they sit in special chairs in the car, like they have a baby seat,
Oh,
or
yeah, the
I'm not
baby
talking about
seat.
those like
Yes.
bumper seats. I'm talking about those
A
that
car
where you
seat.
strap them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
when
yeah.
I was like, I don't know how old. I must have been like 3 years,
Mm,
maybe
mm,
something. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was a fucking baby. I would apparently push myself up when
Uh,
my mom was tightening it, so that when she's done, I could lean back and it wouldn't be so tight.
yeah.
So
Which
like
defeats the
from
purpose of it, mind you, but continue.
yes, I know, I'm fully aware. I was fucking stupid, but like from the age of like nothing, I have been a brat. Like I don't want to listen.
You're
Someone
just like
tells
me
me
for
to do
real, for
something.
real.
It might be like something that I should be doing. It might be something that I've
Yes.
been supposed to do for months. And maybe I was even planning to do it that day or within the
Mm.
next 10 minutes. Someone comes in and tells me to do it. That immediately makes me not want to do it. It's just how I am. I can't
I
help
No,
it.
have
I'm the same way. 100%.
I have
What were you gonna
learned
say?
to not remind her about things because I know if I remind her just a little bit too much, she is not going to do it out of spite.
I'm
So
the
very
same
seldom
fucking
do I
way.
remind you to do things.
Yeah, and it's the same reason a lot of people, if you really like a show, the last thing you should do is tell them to watch it over and over again because they will never, ever, ever,
Yes.
ever watch it ever if you do that. I've learned that lesson too many times. Mm-hmm.
It's it, it's become episodic essentially of every single time.
Yep.
Like even things that like you need to get done, like event stuff. I'm like I want to remind you about it, but if I keep reminding you, you're just going to not do it even more.
You want to know a passive way
Yeah.
to handle that?
Yes,
Please.
actually.
You just say, like, if you want Tot to work on something and you want to remind her, but you don't want to tell her what to do, you can just say, "Hey, Tot, I'm working on this thing for this thing that you should also be working on, but I'm not gonna say that. Do you want to hang out?" And then it might motivate her.
The problem is I'm not good at doing that. Like making stuff.
Initiating?
I'm well no, I'm an idea person. Like I can't be
Mm-hmm.
like, "Hey, I'm working on this avatar which you should also be working on," because I don't have the skills and the ability to work on avatar stuff.
Okay, next option then. You want to work on something, let's say an avatar. You have ideas for it, but you can't do shit on your own. Tot can, right? So you say, "Tot, I really want to work on this. Can you help me? Please?" And then Tot will go, "I'll help you. Okay, I'll do
Okay,
it.
that
Hee
that gets into something of me of asking people for help too much. I feel bad about, especially like avatar stuff. Again, we'll go back to that. I'm aware that they could help me, but I feel bad being like, "Hey Todd, can you help me with this thing? Hey Todd, can you help me with this thing? Hey Todd, the same with other people
See,
like Artie. I ask for help often, and I haven't for
How do you feel about Boshi asking you for help?
I don't mind, but
Mm.
while I don't mind him asking me for help, I get where he's coming from. And I feel
Mm.
like that is actually something that most people actually do wrong by essentially giving
It's
him
because
the
you're both
answer or
softies.
help on a silver plate. It's more, no, no, no.
Mm.
I prefer like, I prefer to, perfect example, teach a man to fish or give a man a
Mm.
fish, he will eat for that. Teach a man to fish, he will eat for his life. Quite literally that. I would much rather
Mm.
help him understand the software, understand Unity or whatever else, than to actually just
Mm.
give him the answer. So like, perfect example, very recently, you asked for, spoiler, some PC related advice. So I sent you
Mm.
those guide videos so you can like
Mm.
familiarize yourself a little bit with
I need to watch those.
you know, PC parts and stuff like that. Instead of just
Mm.
do this, 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 this. So it's a bit of both, basically. I don't mind him asking, but I prefer to help him be able to do it in future of it on his own rather than
Mm.
creating a reliance, I guess.
Yeah, but he's only asking to get you to do shit.
Yeah, that's gonna go out the window.
I tried.
I get it. Now I completely understand that. In a similar situation, yes. The thing with me though, people don't come to me for like, hey, I need to do this
They
thing.
don't come to
'Cause
you?
They, I hope they don't. Um, they know that in terms of usefulness, I am funny and I can come up with ideas sometimes. But other than that, people don't go to me for like, hey, I need avatar help. Because I'm like, hey, you know who you should ask? This person. Because I don't know shit. So like,
Mm.
I don't often get asked for help.
Mm, 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 mm.
I am helpless myself.
So you're like the I know a guy.
Yes. I
Mm,
usually
mm,
point
mm.
people in the direction of other people that
I do that too,
uh
actually.
'cause, like I know I don't have these skills. So I'm gonna
Mm,
point you to someone I know who has better skills.
mm.
I don't listen. I don't
Exactly.
Artie. I don't always point to you. I will point to other people as well. Sometimes it's just sometimes I do point to you. Artie's very good at Avatar stuff. He helped with a lot of my stuff I've made. Thank you,
Noted.
Artie.
Noted. So if I need something, just be one of the millions of people who torment Artie.
If you
Is
need
that
if you
right?
need Avatar stuff,
I
he
thought you're just
is.
offering them up for more work.
If you're going to pay, I'm sure he'd be more than happy to help. If you are
Fuck
offering
off! What the fuck?
offering money, if you are offering financial
I
incentives,
pay.
oh, hey Artie, you want to go to TwitchCon EU and
Is someone
TwitchCon
not
America,
paying
right?
you?
You know,
Who's
he's done
not
a lot of
paying? If you have someone working on your shit, they should fucking pay for it. If you're just saying,
he's
"Oh, you don't know me any money," shut the fuck up. You should be charging.
he's done a lot of work for friends
I don't give a fuck. No. I
who
hate that excuse. I hate that excuse. And you wanna know why? Because if you have a friend who is taking some of your labor that you are doing, they should wanna pay you the fair price because they respect the work you do. And if anything, they'll probably wanna pay you more. Or that's what they should be doing instead of exploiting your labor and your time to do whatever it is. That's stupid. I say that as a hypocrite who does free work for their friends sometimes. But you still should do it. And I still do it most of the time. Yeah.
Artie, we like your work, and like Rose said, yeah,
Damn, sorry, Tot,
I
you owe
have
money
something on
now.
that topic.
okay.
I have something on that
Yes.
topic that is
Mm.
very personal that I would love
Ooh.
a genuine answer to, because
Ooh,
this is something that I
yeah.
think a lot about and that I legitimately worry about. So,
Mm.
as you were talking about like Christmas event, it's a
Yeah.
massive team. We're upwards
Mm-hmm.
of like 50 people who all contribute in one way or another.
Yes.
What do you think about that? Because some of the people involved, they put a lot of time and effort, like actual man
Mm.
hours that
And they're doing it
I'll
for
be
free?
honest, if I could, yes, they're doing it for free.
Mm. Mm.
If I could pay them appropriately for those hours, I would love
I
to.
know.
But as it stands, those
My
events
logic.
are not
Mm-hmm.
profitable. Like
Of course not.
I
It's a
run
fucking
very
charity.
red.
It's a
Yeah.
charity. You
Yeah.
literally spend money on it to give to charity. So in my opinion, I feel like charity gets a fucking pass because everyone working on it understands that it's for charity. If you were doing it for your own personal profit, I'd be like, bitch, what the fuck you doing? But because you're doing it literally for a charitable cause in which you do not keep profit, you do not take profit, you in fact invest in things, to me, it doesn't make sense that like you should be villainized for not paying out, especially if people go in knowing that they are not being compensated, knowing that it is for charity, knowing that it is for that intended use, and they are willing to essentially donate instead of money their time to that cause. Then they know what they're signing up for, and there's no surprise there. It's fine.
Yeah. Kind of
Yeah.
a counterpoint then, or on the same topic. Because like being honest and upfront about it, there is
Yeah.
some to gain. Like it's a big event, it's a lot of eyes, it brings in potential new viewers. A lot of viewers have joined the community or found me through the Christmas events.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is like the one thing that there is to gain from it.
Sure.
However, like with that said, we also do have like this whole. It's a very straightforward thing where if you help out with the events, you're allowed to stream them. That's like the trade-off.
Mhm. Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, all of this just in general a bit, because it is something that I genuinely do worry about, especially with like how much time a lot of people put into it.
Mm.
So
Yeah, but I think that the people you end up working on that with, if they came to you asking for help for something you're good at, you would equally contribute to that too, right? So I feel like it's one of those things where it's a networking thing and an industry thing more where people are like, I give you a treat, you give me a treat, we take care of each other, we make everything good for everyone's events, and then everybody wins because everybody's looking out for each other just because they're friends, instead of it being like, oh, well, you know, you help me with this, but I'm not going to do that because I'm busy now. Like, it's more even, right? So like even if they haven't done
Yeah.
an event like that, it's nice to know that you would exchange that. Like for example, I am currently, I don't know if you know, but on my streams I have a thing where people give 200 bits or more. When I'm live, a little crane game comes across the screen and drops down. So I have that, but it's been janky and not working. So I've been looking for someone to remake it from scratch and have one that functions better. So I reached out to someone and I was like, hey, I want this, how much would you charge? And they were like, I can charge and it would be a lot of money, or if you want, we can work on one together, but I will sell it on my Etsy afterwards as a public asset that people can use and customize. So I was like, okay, labor trade. Yeah, yeah. So it's just kind of the equivalent of that, where it's two people putting in a bit of labor to make parts of something to eventually make a whole thing that benefits everybody. You know?
yeah,
That's my logic on that.
okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
That okay.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Oh, bye.
Hey, does she
One
make
of the
sense?
like bonuses I would say from having this is that, yeah, exactly what Chris said. Anyone in the event team, we have it. It's a separate Discord basically. So we have everything organized. We have everything separate. We know it's easy to like
Mhm.
categorize and everything. Yeah, everyone is allowed to make events, and we utilize this community group event team
Exactly.
to like
It's a passion project.
do other stuff as well. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we've used it in the
And I think
past
that's
to organize
fine.
some birthdays, for example. I know that.
Yeah.
Cute. When's your birthday?
June 30th.
Oh my god, we both have
If-
birthday in the same month. When's your birthday?
August 8th.
Oh my god, you're summer baby. I'm surprised.
You're summer. June is summer.
Yeah, but you just serve like winter baby energy for some reason. I don't know why.
What does that mean?
I don't know. You just give me winter baby energy.
What is winter baby? What is summer
I
baby
don't
energy?
know. I just look at you and I'm like, he's been born in November or some shit.
No. What? What does that mean?
I don't know. It's just what you. It's just the vibe you give. My birthday's June 12th, by the way.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like there is some truth to what you're saying, because there are like, I don't want to stereotype people, but there's certain like personality stereotypes that you can kind of like attach to people born in
you
roughly,
so
you
much.
know,
This is
certain
exactly
time
what I
periods of the year.
I don't
Why
know
you
if I
fucking
fully agree
start
with
the
it, because that's gonna be
bullshit
astrology shit, and
star
I don't believe in
signs?
that.
Yeah.
No,
I
no,
do
not
think that there are
astrology
people who prefer
or
certain
anything like that.
seasons,
It's
and
just
they might
like,
be predisposed to that because of them being having their birthday and shit during that time and associating with something positive. I can understand that. Yeah.
it might be a local thing as well. Like when I think of this, I
Oh.
think more specifically back to like in school, for example. Like
Mm.
the popular kids in my school were usually born around or in January, February, maybe March.
Oh.
And that was just like
Really?
one of those things. Yeah. And I think the quieter kids, they were like held back, stuck to their own, didn't really say or
Yep.
do anything. They were no, not me. I was a brat.
Damn.
They were usually closer to like December, November, around like the end of the year. And even though
Huh.
it's like it's literally 1 month apart, but it still makes a difference. At least again, in my
Hmm.
experience, like from locally, I don't know
Mm.
exactly how much it applies online because, Christ Almighty, I am so bad at remembering birthdays.
Yeah.
If I don't have it written
Really?
down and if I don't look at it daily, I'm not gonna remember it.
Do you remember your own birthday?
I had to think when you asked.
And you said June 30th?
Yes. If
Can we
I
expect
didn't
a
stream,
party
I
later
would
this
not
year?
remember it.
Birthday
I
party?
don't know.
Can I come?
Sure.
Okay.
More
Now
than
you
welcome
have
to.
to have a birthday party, Tot.
Yeah,
You
you
legally
have
have to now.
You have
And
to.
I will definitely remember it.
It doesn't have to be on the day
Yes.
though.
We're
Yeah. Gotta get your hat and everything.
Yeah, you could put a little pom. No, instead of a pom pom, you could put a Mimi instead of a pom pom, and it can cling to the hat.
Oh, that'd
God,
be
I'm
cute.
such a genius.
Oh, that I should. Okay, that reminds me. I think it was Arimu in chat who gave me.
Yeah.
We talked about it on a day before because
Full name
the
him.
fries are kind of like the fries have been the mascot, if you would call it that, in VR chat,
Oh,
whereas the Mimi is like my VTuber mascot.
explain the difference
We
for me,
talked about
please.
there inherently there
Fries.
is no difference. The main thing is that I wanted a mascot that wasn't humanoid. That was the main
Does
thing.
it look the same
because
as the Mimis though?
no. The Minis is
The Mimis are the little like
here.
nubby little freaks with the skull faces, right?
Yeah.
That's a Mimi.
So what's a fry?
Whereas the fry, that essentially it's a chibi version kind of.
Give him
It's
face,
based
the
off
ones
of
that look like your children.
Yeah.
yes.
They're called fries.
And I wanted to avoid
I see.
that because when I think VTubing, that's like more outwards, so people will not
Oh.
really fully understand the dynamic of how it is in VR chat. And I just wanted to I wanted to differentiate them.
No, that makes a lot of sense because I know actually that's something that I always thought was so weird in VR chat is and I partook in a little bit of it, but generally in VR chat back in the day, at least I don't know if it's still a thing now. There was all this like this person's XYZ's mom and dad and siblings,
No,
and I was
Mike.
like, what the fuck is happening? And I ended up like absorbed into some of these families. And I was like, I don't know how I got here, but okay.
Imagine.
But
Yeah.
I grow so tired of it that I just kind of like I was like a little done with this now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's like some of them were fine who knew where it was just kind
Yeah, there's
for
a little
most
bit
of
of
them, I would say
playfulness,
it was
but
just
taking it too seriously is like
playfulness, memes,
ugh.
funny. But then there are those people who take it too far and they make it super, super weird.
Yeah. I have experience with that. With
Yeah.
VR chat family.
Yeah, I see.
Of
Mm.
Shy is a great person, but I was forced to be her father. And now she's having a wedding, I think.
Are
But
you
like
going?
Oh yeah.
I refuse to accept the man that she is claiming.
Why? What's wrong with them?
He
Give me the
is
tea.
he is his grades are not the way that they should. They're both 17, by the way.
Ew, children.
Yeah, they came into the community before we knew, and they've just kind of been around for a long time.
You know what happens when someone that age comes into my fucking chat? I trick them into entering a giveaway and then I ban them.
Yeah, and I was so fucking confused the first time I heard
You could
that.
probably do that with your chat. It's like, hey, we're gonna do a giveaway.
Probably.
Anybody born after February 22nd.
I don't know how long you've been doing it, but there was like probably in the past year or so, past 12 months. At some point,
Yeah.
I came into your chat when you were doing that, and I was like, "Is this real?" Because I was like, oh, "This is super cool, so nice of you." It completely went over my head.
Yeah.
Dude,
So, okay,
perfect.
let me explain it for people who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, don't listen. I expect you guys not to rat bitches out when this is happening in my chat. If you ever come to my chat, what's happening? Basically, I put on like giveaway music, and then I'm like, "Yo, okay, it's giveaway time." If you are 17 years of age or under, you are eligible to enter. It's a youth support program brought to us by BSC, which they don't know stands for Bullshit Company or Baiting Stupid Children. And then I tell them it's sponsored by that, and they can either get an opportunity to. Previously, it was get a PS5, but now it is a $100 gift card or the opportunity to collaborate with me live on my stream, which every stupid child out there is like, I want to collab with the streamer. So they fall for it every fucking time and they enter the giveaways. And then I'm like, okay, bye. And then they get banned and I win.
Yeah, you got like 6 last time. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was a big haul. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny as hell. Stupid children.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's the perfect way to go about it. Because like, if they don't read the rules and they're stupid enough to out themselves as somebody who shouldn't be watching stream,
Absolutely.
deserved.
But the thing is, no one reads the rules
Yeah.
in any chat ever. Ever. How many of you have read the rules in the chat that you're in right now? Press 1. Press 2 if you actually have read
I don't
them.
even know
I
my own
refuse
rules.
to believe. See? That's
How
my
do you
fucking
check
Yeah.
the
point.
rules?
You click the
I
little
don't-
cog at the bottom of chat, and then it says view chat rules. If you're in mod mode, you might
That's
have
a
to go into
thing?
non-mod mode and see it. Yes. See, look how many have
I'm not
never
even
fucking
main
read
mod
the rules.
mode.
Oh, view chat rules.
Yeah, if you hit
Use
the cog
common
in normal
sense,
chat.
you dorks. You don't even have
Uh-huh.
rules. Other than
You don't
common
have
sense.
chat rules.
How
I
the
don't think
fuck
I
that
have
from that?
rules. Do I have rules?
I don't know. You
Switch to
tell me.
none. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, I do. What the fuck? Well, I mean, use common sense. That kind of, you know. I feel like that covers everything, generally speaking. For
Yeah,
normal
well.
people.
No one on Twitch is normal. You've made a mistake already.
Normal.
Is
Yeah.
anyone
Using
in this?
that
Are you
very
normal?
loosely. No, God, no.
Is Boshi normal?
I'm pretty
Nope.
normal.
No,
What do
you're
you
not.
mean?
You're not normal, Boshi. I'm
I'm
sorry.
just a
No.
dude. I'm just a dude. I just hang out. I exist.
Actually, I take it back. You're normal sometimes, and you have the energy of a harem protagonist who all the bitches like fall for, and then you get into the hijinks. You're like, oh, it wasn't me, and then you get punched into space because you accidentally saw up someone's skirt. That's your energy. So you're normal-ish, but you're not normal.
I don't like how accurate that
Yeah,
is.
don't you know?
Yeah.
He's
Listen, I'm
he's
good at assessing
sleeping
people. What do you
with
want from me?
all the. He has an actual harem. Haven't you
No,
heard?
no, he's not
he's
sleeping with them,
sleeping with
though.
all the only Nekos. He's ERPing
Yeah,
with
but
us daily.
Yeah, okay.
There are
Yeah,
people
So
that
how is
believe
it?
that, by the
Yeah.
way.
How is it
mhm.
then? On a scale of 1 to 10.
You know,
I would be great in bed. Thank you very much.
Ooh.
I'm sure you would be.
I would be very passionate, very, very kind, very considerate lover. Thank you very much.
You would be. You would be a soft boy.
D-
And then
What
afterwards,
about-
you would be like nestling your face in their bosom, and then, you'd get suffocated and be like, this is the life. Yeah, I know. Can't say anything because I make too much sense, right?
I have the right to remain silent.
I know you do, but you can talk too, dipshit. You just want a tall, strong goth mommy who you can put your face in the bosom and get comforted by. I know, it's okay.
No.
Listen,
And I'm not saying you're a bottom. I'm not saying that.
Soft
But you're a soft boy.
Femboy. That's his type.
He's not a femboy.
No. He wants a soft femboy. That's his type.
I don't think Boshi thinks about gender or presentation. I think Boshi thinks about.
No,
I
he
think
doesn't. It's
Boshi's
just
demi-core.
we're just teasing him.
because
Aw.
listen. I have many types. Maybe
What are your
tall,
types then?
big lady with large chest who is very caring and very considerate, and
So chest
I
size
can
is
cry-
important.
I can cry. Not necessarily, but for
I will
that
actually take this
general
moment to just go pee real quick. I'll
stereotype
be right back.
for
Okay.
that general stereotype of tall, big lady, big, very kind, caring,
Do you want them to be
very
taller than you or just tall?
than me. I don't need somebody who's
So
like
you would
7
prefer
foot
someone
3.
taller than you generally?
Sometimes.
Okay, let's start over. A genie
I-
shows up and says, "Hey, I can either leave now and never see you again, or I can give you your ideal woman, no monkey's paw, no catches, no strings attached. You say yes. They walk into the room. What do they look like? What are they like? What's their personality like? Tell me everything.
That's so hard because it depends on how I'm feeling that day.
Well, how are you feeling right now then?
How am I feel? Well, because you've brought it up.
Mm.
You know, maybe a few inches taller than me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like half a foot at most.
Mm-hmm.
Um, long, soft hair, straight usually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, ample bosom, not necessarily drowning.
So
Um,
you don't partake in the itty bitty titty committee.
I, again, you're saying how I'm feeling right now because
Okay,
sometimes
okay.
if
So sometimes you're fine with the
alternatively,
itty bitty titty committee. It's not really about
yeah,
that necessarily. Okay, okay.
yeah,
Okay, okay. Mm-mm-mm.
very kind, caring, very, you know, it's gonna be everything's gonna be all right. You know,
Mm-hmm.
hug, very, you know,
Comforting?
considerate,
Yeah.
comforting.
Yeah. You do give me the impression of somebody who would like a lot of comfort. And I don't
But
even mean in like a mommy way. I feel like you want somebody who is like gives the air of warmth and intimacy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
want somebody who cares about me,
Yeah.
who
You
they
give me
have
the
interest
idea
in
that you're like
me.
a romantic a little bit, even though you don't really admit it.
I like rom-com. I like
Yeah.
the anime and the manga that I watch and read is generally rom-com of like, oh, a high school
Titles? Give me
romance or
titles. Give me
whatever.
titles.
I mean the one that comes to mind immediately is
Uh,
Toradora. That one
I've
is
never seen that,
iconic
but
for me.
everyone tells me that I should see it and that it's really good. Is it?
I think you would like it.
Does it have plot though, or is it just fluff?
Um, I mean, there's plot.
Okay,
There's
then
plot.
I might give
It's
it a
not
I
like
might
the
give it a
most
try.
in-depth story you're ever gonna read.
I
It's
don't care
not,
if
you
it's
know, Lord of the
super in
Rings or
depth, but it
whatever.
can't just. I started watching. You know that anime with a lot of gifs with the purple, like long-haired purple, like cat-eared lady who like bites people's fingers and arms and stuff, and
I've
it's like
seen that.
I don't remember what it is.
That those
I tried
gifts.
watching it
Yeah.
recently, and I was like, because I always wanted to see it because the gifs look cute, and then I watched it and I was like, this is too. There's no depth here.
Nothing.
I'm not. It's not tickling me. Oh, Kaguya-sama's really good. Yes.
Kaguya? Love
Kaguya-sama Love is
is
War.
War.
Have you seen that
That
one?
sounds familiar.
Ha-
It sounds familiar. I'd have to if I would see if I saw it, I would know it.
Boshi,
I remember
look it up
stuff by
right
visual.
now. If
Kaguya.
you
I
have
think
not
I kn-
watched Kaguya-sama Love is War,
is
you are fucking cucking yourself of a good anime.
is that the one that like the Chica dance?
Yeah. Dun,
Okay,
dun, dun,
that
dun, dun,
one.
dun. Yeah.
I read a lot of it a long
You
time
need to
ago.
watch
Like
all of it.
I read the first like 60 chapters and I just stopped because I was like I don't know. I
Watch
just
it.
stopped reading it.
Promise me you'll
I will
watch it.
I will watch it at
Pinky
some
promise.
point because
You can't lie. In the next 6 months, you better start watching it. Promise me.
I will watch it in the next six
Promise.
months.
Okay. I'm holding you
Kaguya-sama
to
Love
it.
is War
Yes.
because I've been
I'm gonna
recommended it
set a
before.
fucking alarm. I'm gonna set a fucking alarm for 6 months from now. If you don't fucking tell me you watched it, I'm gonna smack you.
I want this is the year that I'm playing more video games, I'm watching more movies, I'm consuming more media because I was ridiculed for it last year. What?
I okay. I know I don't want to get too balls deep in anime. I just started watching a romance anime actually, and I don't remember the name, but the main guy's name is Miyazawa, and the main girl's name is Hori, and it's so cute and so wonderful, and I can't wait to fucking binge more of it later. It's so cute. I'm gonna find the name. I'm gonna send it to you, and you're gonna watch it, or I'm gonna fucking smack your ass.
I'll
Oh,
need a
actually,
legal website to do so. Legal. What?
Bochi.
What?
That's
Bochi!
one
It's
I still
getting
need to
season
watch.
2! Did you
I haven't
see?
watched that yet. No, I haven't followed any of that. I haven't seen it at all. I need to watch it.
I'm gonna tell you
It
right
is
now.
something I have been meaning to.
That has easily become one of my favorite anime of all time purely because I relate to Bochi so fucking. Oh my god, I relate to her so much. She's just literally me if I had pink hair, dude. She has horrible stage fright and she has to like. It's all about like overcoming your fear and shit. I'm like, I want to be like Bochi and be brave. Also, my love story is fucking peak too. Yes. Oh no, I didn't say Horimiya. There's a cat, unless that's what it's called. I don't know what it's fucking
I
called.
swear. Who
But it's so
hell
fucking
is this
cute.
Kim everyone keeps asking about?
I, I have a vendetta against that one, purely for the fact that so many people have talked about it.
Why?
For the sole fact, people talk about it, and
Mm.
Boshi, Boshi, Bochi,
Oh,
Boshi,
Bochi!
Bochi. Yeah. So when people talk
Okay,
about,
but it's
especially
so good.
like, I feel like a long time ago, Lay, somebody that I knew and was
I know, Lay.
with for a bit, yeah.
Oh,
He would call me like affectionately Bochi,
yeah.
and so my brain, I hear that and I think me, but it's not me because it's that pink-haired girl, and
She
it's
does
just that.
remind me of you in some ways, though, because it's very. You've never seen it, right?
No, I know she's anxious. That's it.
So I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'll give you a TLDR, simple, fucking like compact definition. She is initially so socially anxious that like she starts off having no fucking friends, and then through a stroke of luck she ends up like having to interact with somebody, and then that person ends up kind of like trying to drag her out of her shell a little bit, and then it's all about like everybody in the cast like growing as people and facing their fears, and doing things even though they're scary, and then seeing like, oh, it's actually fine, etc. And I feel like that is very your energy because you don't have a lot of self-confidence and stuff, and you need to grow in that way, and you have been growing in that way, and I'm very proud of you for that, unironically. And so Bochi reminds me of you in that way, but I relate to her in the sense of she has horrible stage fright. It's actually cripplingly bad. So
I feel like that's
yeah.
something that whenever I have heard people talk about that show, it is like there's always something that they can relate to.
Yes,
It's like a
yeah,
mix
yeah, yeah.
of
Just like me, for
comedy.
real.
From what I understand, it's a mix of comedy and also the extreme relatability for a
Yes,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah. Yes, it's all about character growth, and I love things that make me what's the word? Invested in a character. So that really strikes that with me.
Hmm.
Say, have you heard of this amazing award-winning show
Aw.
called what's it called again?
I don't know. You tell me.
What?
Breaking
Describe the plot.
Bad. Have you heard of it?
Oh.
I've heard of it, but I've actually never seen it.
Oh no.
Okay, so the joke here is that I am a die-hard fan
than a
of Breaking Bad. I
handful
think it's the
is
the
indeed
greatest
a
show of all
waste.
time. In fact,
Right?
it is the highest rated show of all time. It's the only show, as far as I know, that has perfect score on one episode, or if it's like 0.1 point away from perfect score. It's the highest rated.
Selena,
That's the point. But yeah,
I think.
talk it specifically because we're talking about like character growth. I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Breaking Bad especially does they take character growth to the extreme.
I feel like from what I know, and I know very little. I know like little chunks of plot because it's been out for so long. I feel like it's more character development, not character growth, given some of the
Yeah,
shit
sorry,
that
sorry.
happens.
No, you're correct. Yes.
But
Character
I feel like character
development, not growth.
development as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
They're very similar, but I feel the need to differentiate them because I feel like
Yeah.
character growth is like them improving, and I feel like when I
Yeah.
know the things
Yeah,
I know
that's
about
not
Breaking
this
Bad
show.
tells me that they are not improving, but they are changing.
He grows.
Yes.
Just not into something you want to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no,
But the development is still
entirely correct.
interesting.
I got completely confused by those. Yeah.
Oh, you're fine. Oh, God.
Yeah, those are good shows.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I did want to say, just before we get off like the anime thing, you mentioned something that
Yeah.
I don't know if it's exactly the same, but there's like a genre, like you said, not much happened in that the purple-haired girl anime.
Yeah.
There's a genre of anime that I see people around me like recommend, and I don't
know
know if
what
I
you're
would
talking
like
about.
it.
Silence!
I call it just
I
cute
kill you!
girls doing things where
Well, you
nothing
talking about Moe
happens.
Blob slice of life stuff.
Is that what it's called? Moe
Slice
Blob?
of life is really what you're thinking
Like,
of, but it's like a
slice of
specific
life, I
subset of it
don't
where it's all
mind.
like moe stuff.
Yeah, but like it where it's just like K-On! I'm sure it's a great anime, but when every time I see it, it's just here's a bunch of cute anime girls and they're playing instruments, and that's it.
I don't know a good word for it, but I feel like what it reminds me of is it makes me think of series that are based off of Four Koma, which are the four
Yeah,
panel manga.
yeah. I
Uh uh
guess
uh.
some of them are. I don't think all
Yeah.
of them are, but like I can definitely see that because you can only fit so much into 4 panels.
Yeah,
Uh,
I thought you were gonna say something, a genre called Iyashike, which is essentially healing anime, stuff that is purely existing to warm your heart, make you feel happy, make you feel like, oh, that's so cute, sweet, like joyful,
oh,
etc.
trying
Which
to
my
think.
love story I would fit into that personally, but I don't really know of many others that I would. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I like rom. I like
I do too.
guy and there's like a alien or whatever or new girl
Yeah,
moves in or
yeah,
whatever and then like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's a little bit of drama of like oh no like here's a
Mm.
childhood friend character and there's nothing ever at
Yeah.
stake
No,
really
no,
there's
no.
no like life or death but
Mm.
stuff like that like
Though I also
shit
like
like
stuff that's heartbreaking and like tragic and
I
like
don't like being
really
sad.
fucked up
Yeah.
and sad. Like Madoka Anohana. I recently watched an anime called 86. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's really fucked up and like very dark. Your Name was good, but it, it's it was good, but it was like I wanted more. I guess I don't know.
Hmm. I think
I can
the
see
only
that.
anime I ever watched that made me cry I think was Plastic Memories I think it was
I haven't
called
seen that one, but I've heard of it. Oh, and Look
it
Back recently was good too.
it's all. I mean, it's good. I didn't know it was gonna make me cry. I didn't. I wasn't a fan. I mean, it
Mm-mm-mm.
was good, but yeah, I just don't like cry. I don't like being sad. I use media as an escape from real life. So like, I like
Oh,
stuff that I enjoy. What?
I have a recommendation for you. If you
Okay.
like cutesy romance, but also like I feel like you like think and tinker a little. Have you seen Apothecary Diaries?
Don't know what that is.
It's a newer anime. Well, not newer, but there's a season airing of it right now, and it's so cute. And it's like about this girl who, oh my god, how I condense this into like a short explanation. She gets kidnapped and is sold off to uh the emperor's like palace, rear palace, where all the concubines and stuff are, and she ends up like getting into like all sorts of hijinks there, and like because her dad was a apothecary too, she like knows like a lot of medicinal stuff and making medicines and like understanding stuff. So she ends up like figuring out like why things are happening and like preventing people from dying and all this other kind of stuff. But there's also like romantic subtext in it, and it's just really cute, and there's a lot of drama and a little bit of like figuring out problems and also a little bit of romance, and it's just very just like it's cozy and it's cute, but it's also kind of sad, but not in a too much sad kind of way, you know? Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, it sounds
Yeah.
interesting.
Okay.
I'd
Yeah.
give it a try.
Watch it.
This is the year where I'm consuming more media.
That's right. That's been me the last year. So I was like not watching anime for a really long time because I just felt like I couldn't. And now that I feel like I can, I'm just like, I'm very happy.
Speaking of anime, um,
Yes.
do you know that idea that I gave beforehand of the reading?
Um,
Oh God, I'm scared.
it's gotta
What do you
be
have,
Th-
something.
Bossy?
I mean,
What do you have?
I'll post it in the thing.
No, I am not gonna look. You can just tell me. I trust you. I'm just scared.
I mean, you've seen Nyan Neko Sugar Girls, right?
I love Nyaneko Sugar Girls.
And
Yes.
you wanted to, voice one of the
Yes.
characters.
Yeah, Raku-chan.
Well, I mean, we've got the first episode.
Do you? What do you mean you got the first episode?
I've got the
I'm
transcript for the
afraid.
first episode.
You have the transcript? Holy fucking
Yeah,
shit!
Oh
What is
listen.
my.
fucking wrong with you?
There's 3 characters. There's 2 girls and 1 guy. I'm just saying.
You actually have it
For those
here.
who know of Nyan Neko Sugar Girls, just look it up. It's very kawaii.
Did you write
Oh
this
my god.
transcript yourself?
I found it online. I wrote some of it, like the stage direction.
Oh
You
no.
actually went here and got all of it.
Yes.
Do you want to do? You want to do this whole fucking thing?
It's not that long. It's only like 20 or so lines. Like
Holy
it's
shit!
not long.
If we're doing this, I need to put my filters on to make it extra crunchy.
That's perfect.
Oh God.
You
You
want to
know?
do this? You
Do you-
want to do
Todd, are
this?
you
This
down?
shit that you...
Welcome. You are
Yeah,
officially
I'm down
a
for it.
can
Have you
of
ever seen
tuna.
Yaneko Sugar Girls Tot?
I don't think she has.
No, 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 no.
Can we watch an episode?
Do we want to?
Sure.
Do we want to
Why
watch
not?
the episode first and then
I
do
need
our
Tot
thing?
to see. It's very important. This
think
is my
that could be
favorite
good.
series.
Okay,
'Cause
so
I-
Ben can.
This could be
Yeah.
something. If you would be down for it, we could try and do like an actual more serious thing out of this if you want. If you're down for it, because then we
Several
can watch
people
it.
have asked me this. I feel like I'm gonna end up making 5 million versions of it, which is kind of funny.
we
What do you mean
we don't
this
have to.
is
We
so
can do
Crunchy
this
Girls? Fuck
right now
you!
as well.
Yeah, it's up to you. If we want to do this at a later date and like do like a real thing of it, or do it right
I'm
now.
down
Like
either way to do just a silly little haha now, but I need Tot to see it.
yeah.
It's non-negotiable. You need to see it. You need to understand what
Okay.
the fuck this is. It is my
I'll ask my manager to write it down, and we'll actually like schedule a time to watch it.
Yes, we
And-
can watch it. We can have a watch party.
All right. We can do a watch party and then we can do our
I
own little
need you to
recreation.
see it. Have you ever seen any clips of it?
You definitely have seen a clip. It's
like, I
it's one of those
probably have.
iconic things. You just don't know that it's that.
Okay, I'm just gonna let me turn
Yeah.
my voice thingy on. Let me turn the thing on. Hold on. It sounds like I'm just gonna give you a sample of what it sounds like. Let's see how fucked up can I make this sound. Let's do a little bit of that and a little bit.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
perfect. Okay. Yeah, no, it's perfect. Okay, just trust me. Trust me. Okay. It literally sounds like yeah, this. I think you're so cool. Yeah, I really want you to be my.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just so bad. It's so good. It's so fucking horrible.
And yes, Ben,
It's
if we
literally
do
all
it,
just like that.
I will use my shit mic. I don't want to do it right now because it will kill everybody's eardrums if I plug it in.
And I
'Cause
just
it's-
didn't.
Well, no, like this is a like a fucking webcam microphone that the second it turns on is
Oh.
8 times louder than my normal voice.
Have you okay?
See.
Have
Hmm.
you played Nekopara before?
No, but I've heard of it, and I feel like I probably personally wouldn't play it because it's not my style. But I know of it, ish.
You know what it is as well. I might have an idea
I
for
know
that
what
as
it
well that we
is.
could come back to. I'm gonna
Oh,
I'm gonna have to write this down
Yeah.
because I feel like there might be something here.
horrifying, but I'm intrigued.
I still think that there should be an Only Neko's visual novel. It's an idea. It's been talked about a lot of just like, oh, you can go down and you can romance any of the Only Nekos, that kind of stuff.
The thing is with visual novels, you need to get someone who really knows what they're doing with that because you have to be able to make every single like sub story actually
Yes.
go somewhere and stuff. So you'd have to get something that's more kinetic if you weren't going to do it that way, but then you wouldn't be able to romance everybody. You'd only be able to romance one person, which kind of defeats the purpose that
Yeah.
you're going for.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like on the level of like actual romance novels, or yeah, but
Yeah, yeah.
simplified. It's a little thing for our community. It'd be funny.
That would be pretty fucking
I mean,
silly and cute.
The idea that I had originally was like make it part of the stream where it's all live and chat is actively choosing. Like you POV, you are this person,
Oh,
and then you're
I've only
walking
seen
around
that
a
once
VR
before,
chat
so
world.
seeing it with more than one person would be really cool. That's not something I've seen before.
That is
I'm the idea person. I come up with ideas and I give it to people that can do it better than I can.
When do you give yourself ideas?
I have something I'm working on, in fact, and I don't want to say it because it's gonna come out at some point. I'm
So
working on it.
you're gonna tell me about it later, though, right?
I can. I don't think you'll have any interest in it,
Promise?
but I can if you
You'll tell
remind
me?
me, because I'm
You'll
going
tell
to
me?
forget.
I
if you
won't forget
remind me,
because if I know that there's something I don't know, then I need to know it, and I'll lose my mind until I find out about it.
you don't need to know it though.
I do need to know because I don't
It's
know it, and that's a problem.
It's this small little thing I'm gonna do.
I feel like you're saying that now, and then when you tell me, I'm like, that's a big deal, bullshit.
It's really not.
You need more self-esteem. It's okay. We'll fix that.
No, Anyway, are you done writing what you're doing, or what are you good?
Yeah. I have been
Subtactics.
turned into many things. Yeah. Welcome, maters.
Oh, tactics.
Welcome.
It's a good chatter right there.
He's
What
much better than he was before. True.
Yeah, I'm growing.
You
I've-
are. You're
I've
doing so
grown
good.
as a person,
You have.
and I'm
This
proud
is
of
actually
myself.
great. Okay, no.
I
This is
remember you
perfect
never
to
would've
lead into
said
the
that
next thing,
before.
honestly.
What is it?
Because one of the things we wanted to talk about was just in general, like content creation and stuff. Because it has kind of been like a reoccurring theme, but I find it very interesting talking about these kind of like more in depth, like behind the scenes mindset kind of stuff of all of this with
Yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
content creators who, again, not to differentiate like small to big creators and stuff like that, but it's more like you, a lot of the time established creators, they have kind of like a not a pattern, not a template, but like a almost like a schedule, but more like they have a thought out plan on how to handle and do things.
Oh,
And
yeah,
it's very
because
interesting
you
to
get a
hear
routine
those
and
kinds
you
of
start to
things.
learn like
Yeah,
what you need
routine.
to do to handle everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
To start off, you talked about Boshi, sorry. Boshi talked about like specifically the whole growth thing. That is something we can start off with, I think. Like
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of jump. Yeah, just to start off slow and from beginning, I guess.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
how do
yeah.
you establish yourself? How do you start off and all that? Like in the case of Boshi, for example, wanting to grow for partner or wanting to reach partner and all that.
Oh,
Like-
that's your question is like, if I were Boshi, what the fuck would I do?
Honestly, yeah. I guess that's a
Alright,
good way.
Boshi, I need to ask you questions then. How
Hi.
often do you stream?
Once or twice a week.
Is it the same days every week? Is it the same times every week?
It's usually the weekend every week, and it's usually around the same time every week.
Weekend
not-
or same day?
Weekend. Sometimes I have stuff that's happening on weekends, so I do it either Saturday or Sunday.
And you said how many days a week do you stream?
Usually the Saturday or Sunday.
So it's one day a week.
Rarely both. Yes.
Okay. I think, first of all, that's the first thing I'd change. I would stream at least 2 or 3 days a week. And I don't mean days in a row, I mean spread them out a little bit. That way, people don't have time to get as distracted by a billion other things and be like, oh, yeah, wait, Boshi was supposed to stream. Oh, fuck. Because if you have a set schedule and it's consistent and they're not being like, for lack of a better term, starved of content because there's only one day and they have to slurp it up so aggressively that day because they're just like starving for you, they either don't have time to forget about you or they have time to get excited. They have only a little time to get excited because they know you'll be back soon, right? So, first of all, consistency and having a schedule and doing stuff the same time or close to the same time on a consistent schedule with at least 2 or 3 days a week is the bare minimum I feel like that you should be doing. I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and I start between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. every single day, and I stream until at least 4 p.m. almost every single time. I will sometimes go later, but the expectation that people who come to watch me have is sometime between 9 and 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. at bare minimum, and I have maintained that for a very long time, and having that is so important because then people do not wonder when you're going to be live because people do not think to check when you are going to be streaming. They just know when someone's going to be streaming after there's a pattern, and then it fits into their schedule. Because, like, for example, I watch my one of the other members of Ichiban, Candy. A lot of the time will stream in the wee hours of the morning when I'm awake but not streaming yet. So I will go and watch Candy while I'm eating breakfast just because Candy happens to be on at the same time every single time I need it, right? So it just works out. And then you start to expect that. So when Candy changes their sleep schedule and isn't streaming at that time, I'm like, what the fuck do I watch now? Where'd Candy go? I'm sad. And then, I end up watching someone else for that morning. And then sometimes I'll start going between them both because now the one that I'm depending on to be there is not there, right? And the same thing, like, if my friend Basil doesn't stream after me, or Spree, or whoever the fuck that I expect to be seeing online, if they're not there, I'm like, okay, well, either I'm not going to watch Twitch, or I'm going to watch someone else, or whatever, right? So it's that kind of thing, first and foremost, that I think is extremely important. And then also, making sure that you have that announcement everywhere and have it on every platform. Not even announcing that you're going live, but having content diversification where you have content on Twitch, you have it on TikTok, you have it on Instagram, you have it on Twitter, you have it on Blue Sky, you have it anywhere else, blah, 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 blah. If you have it all there, more people will find you through that content and then come to your chat. Because ever since I've been putting a bunch of shorts on everything, people come in now and they're like, oh my God, I saw your short on this platform and this platform. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know people found me through those, but yes, they do.
Yeah.
I could rant more, but I feel like I need to give you guys a chance to talk.
I mean, I, with the exception of streaming more times a week, like I try to do that. Like every time I go live, I put out a tweet at the same time. I don't say that I'm live, but I put a tweet out because then people will see the tweet and they'll be like, oh yeah, that guy. Let's check
You
his
should
Twitter.
tell them that
Twitch or
you're live
whatever.
in the tweet, even if you don't link it.
Or
you can put a link in the replies if you don't want to put a link in the main post.
I should probably okay. I'll
And you should always include a
doing
picture
that.
because people will skip posts that don't have pictures.
And I do that
Yes,
as well.
that is one of the. When it comes to Twitter, that is something I notice very often, and that is why, anytime I post a tweet about going live, and I try to do that every single stream I go live, I always include a picture because just like the like ratio between a tweet with a picture and a tweet without a picture, it's just day and night difference.
Yeah, because people, if they see a cute picture, are more likely to retweet it, which will then get it more stuff in the algorithm and it'll get more engagement. And the more engagement something gets in the algorithm, the more the algorithm favors it and then pushes out to more people, and then more people find you, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Okay. That is that is another whole topic of its own. I fucking hate all the algorithms. I just want to say we don't have to go. Yeah, we don't have to go super in depth into it. I just hate how all the big tech companies are trying to control what to show instead of just letting things grow organically. But
I mean, that's because of advertisers.
I guess, yeah.
Advertisers rule
usually
everything.
it comes down to money.
If the advertisers don't like you, you're cooked. Simple as. And I hate
I've said this
true,
before.
But it's just the way it is.
Yeah, if you wanna be successful as a content creator in terms of like getting deals, sponsorships and stuff, don't talk shit about China. That just putting it bluntly. If you talk shit about China, they will avoid you because so many are affiliated in some way to either Chinese companies or they are marketing in China because it's such a big audience. It's just how it is.
I've never heard of anyone
I know that
on any country really, but maybe it's just because of the bubbles that I reside in. But generally, my logic is with that kind of stuff, don't bash anyone or anything, even if you don't like them. There's no fucking point. If someone comes into your chat, your stream, your content, and sees you just being a negative Nancy, being like, oh, this happened and I'm so sad and everything's awful and fuck this company and wah, wah, wah. Or you're going on Twitter and being like, God, my viewership's so low. Why doesn't anybody come by? Oh, it makes me so sad. You're just going to make them feel guilty for not showing up, or you're going to make them feel like if they do something wrong, they're next on that list of shit that you're going going to be talking about or anything like that. And it's going to drive people the fuck away because nobody wants to be around somebody who is constantly fucking negative. It's not going to drag people in. You want to bring people in by being authentic, and you don't have to be fake. You can admit that things go wrong or things go bad. But if you lament over that and that is the primary focus of your content, you will ultimately drive people away or guilt people into staying who are there out of pity. And you do not want to find
For the
a
wrong
community
reasons,
and build it
basically.
on that. Huh?
You will get people might stick around, but it will be for the wrong reasons rather than the
Yeah,
reasons you would like.
exactly. Yeah.
That is another thing. In the past, like, because for a period of time leading up to TwitchCon, I would say I had a tendency to be very negative, not necessarily on for like regarding streaming itself, but more like talking about a lot of like ongoing stuff, complaining about like companies, stuff like that. And I am very outspoken about my opinion on those, but ever since TwitchCon, because when I went to TwitchCon, I basically detoxed from anything social media, and it made such a difference in my everyday mood that I took that and applied it to my whole life afterwards when I came home. So I completely changed what type of social media I consume. I unfollowed a bunch of bigger sources that they would just feed you negativity, and that is also one thing that I have always like brought with me from the very start, is that stream for me was always an escape. It was my way to escape from work, from real life, because it was depressing for me. I was super depressed, so I wanted to make a place where people could escape similar to how I wanted to escape. So bringing negativity on stream, that is, people go to stream to avoid that, basically. So
yeah,
it's been a learning thing, and I feel like I would like to imagine that I have at least improved and been a lot less negative
I
ever
think you
since
have
like
personally.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
have, based off of being around you. You still have moments, but
Everyone
overall, you
does.
don't, shit talk as much as you did before the TwitchCon detox.
yeah, it was a big change.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's good that you made that change because I think that if you are like because because we're streamers, sometimes we don't realize how much impact we have over other people that are watching us. There have been people that come into my chat and they're like, "You saved my life," and I'm literally just sitting here shaking my ass and going, "Bleh, bleh, bleh, bleh." And if that saved your life, I'm happy for you. I don't get it, but I'm happy for you. Whatever. Like I'm really happy that I could impact you in that way, even if I don't understand how I've done it. As long as you feel that way, I'm happy that I've done something. And I feel like people come to streams to be, like you said, to escape things that they're dealing with to some degree. And I think that to some degree is okay, but if you take it as, like, if someone's using your content to escape everything to the point of their detriment IRL, that's a problem. But if it's just to take a mental break and check out for a bit, which I think is more what you mean and more what I mean, having that kind of thing is so nice. And if you are being negative on your stream and you are dragging everything into drama, controversy, like being mad and angry and sad about stuff, if you're doing that almost exclusively, people cannot check out the way that they typically want to. And you don't offer them that by
Yeah,
basically taking that for yourself and using this as a place to like project your problems. So it can be really damaging. And then other people will come and do it as well. And then chat will just be really sad and no one will get anything done. And it's just.
Here's
yeah,
here's what I'll say. At least for me, um, I think it can you can like bitch about stuff, but in a
Yeah.
funny way. In that
Yes.
a lot of the shit I like to do is pointless arguments of like the best way to eat an egg. It's like, no,
That's
you eat
debate.
your
That's
eggs
not
poached.
complaining.
I mean, like insult, like being you eat your eggs poached. You're a fucking idiot. Everybody knows sunny side up is the best. Deviled eggs, top tier.
Mm-hmm.
You and your opinion on your eggs sucks.
Bullshit.
That's the shit. What?
Bullshit.
What?
Scrambled eggs and omelets are the best, and I forgive you.
No.
Okay.
Scrambled eggs you eat when you fail to cook the egg the way that you want to cook it. Okay? Omelet I'll say is all right, but if
If they're not fluffy, I don't give a fuck about them.
deviled eggs are just so good.
They're fine.
They're
They're not
like
as tasty as scrambled or omelets, though.
I'll give you this, they're a pain to make. Like they're very tedious to make.
I
But
wouldn't ever go out of
still,
my way to make them, even if they were easy to make.
there's what do you mean?
I mean
Eggs
exactly
are
what I said.
these deviled eggs? Like you get the little you get the
I
little
know what
it's
a
like a little
deviled
it
egg
holds
is.
it. It holds the goodness in it.
Oh,
It's
this
its
goes
own
back to the
carrying
dommy
case.
mommy thing where you want to be held. Okay, that
Does
makes
not.
sense.
I
That
am
makes
not an
sense.
egg
You
That
want to
makes
to
be
be
her
sense.
little
held.
yolk. I see.
I'll fill her like the yolk in an egg, but I'm not the egg. What?
What the fuck did you just say?
You heard what I said. I don't need to repeat myself.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You may then
You're
retire.
doing great.
Oh, enjoy your retirement.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, you know, good luck to your swimmers, Bossy. Good luck to
I,
your swimmers, your eggs. Yeah. You're
I
gonna do
don't live.
great.
I don't want children. Okay. I don't. I hope that they fail.
You
I
don't.
want them to
I don't
leave,
know
but I
why
want
I'm
them to fail.
surprised.
What?
I feel like I was thinking like, who do I know that wants children? You would be a maybe. That I would think that you would maybe want children. Do you want children?
Yes.
You
Absolutely.
do?
Not right now, but later on in life.
That surprised me.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. I don't think any. You raising children is a scary thought because you can barely take care of yourself.
That's so mean.
She
Okay,
would
that true?
spend
now
money on Pokemon cards as opposed to baby formula.
No,
Okay.
no. That's a business expense. She's streaming it.
that is kind of like
Not all the
there's a
time.
half truth to it. The reason why I am like I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I'm not the most responsible when it comes to
Have
finances
you
and
seen
stuff
parents
like
out
that.
there? I don't think that matters. I feel like you would still do a better job than most of the
Yeah.
ones I see.
I know, but like the reason why is because I am currently kind of like I'm in a position in life where you can kind of fuck around and just everything I do is usually somehow related to content or to the community or somehow those two.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because of that, I can kind of just like again fuck around, mess around, experiment, stuff like that. So I am in a position where I can kind of like be a little bit irresponsible like that. But that
I
is
don't
also
think
part
you'd
of the
be
reason why I'm saying
irresponsible.
very, very strict. Be like,
Mm.
I do want kids. I do want children in the future. But it's exactly that, like in the future, because I don't want it to be while I'm doing this.
So
because
you're saying
I
if you have kids, you would graduate before that happens.
yes, yes,
I don't want
I
you
don't
to
want to mix those because
graduate.
I want. I would probably still
I
be
don't want
active
you
in
to
the community. I would probably still be around.
graduate.
It's more just like I want to be able to properly give them time. I want them to be
But you're like
focused.
80 though, right? Not right now.
40 plus.
Here's hoping you
40
never get pregnant,
plus.
Pot. What?
I don't really have like a set. That's far off in the future. Okay.
Okay. Don't graduate.
I mean, at that point, you're in the prime of your life because you'll be a milf at that point, and that's what all the people are going after nowadays.
You can have a stupid ass kid and still stream. Every time the baby cries, they get 10 gifted or some shit. I don't fucking know. You'll figure out a way. Come on.
Hey, Chad, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Can you babysit for me? Thanks.
You could do live breastfeeding and they wouldn't actually be able to see it. And then when you like rock the baby to sleep, you just do like dances where you're swaying around and shit. You don't have to graduate.
Is breastfeeding allowed on Twitch?
Yes, actually. Did you know that?
Oh, I did not.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you're set, Tot.
What?
Yeah. One of my friends recently had a well, not recently, but semi recently had a kid, and she streams and sometimes like well, I mean she doesn't show camera or anything, but like you could theoretically, and I was curious after learning that she was like having a kid, and I was like, can you even do that? And I looked it up, and you can, or at least you could when I looked it up. I was really surprised.
That is. That's very interesting.
Ah,
Okay. Hypothetical scenario
Yeah.
here, okay? So there is
Mhm.
this apparently there is this system that someone has developed for via chat that were using OSC and a bunch of systems and stuff. You can basically impregnate someone over the avatar to avatar actions.
huh?
And it don't think about it too much. It's very stupid, but
Oh,
yes,
I'm
that is
thinking
a
about it.
thing that people can, I guess, role play.
Can somebody
You can
spawn
even
inside their vagina and then be birthed and then grow up over
Whoopsies.
time?
I don't know. All I know is that the system exists, and apparently you can also pay the creator to have your sperm more fertile.
What the fuck?
That is a thing. Yes. So
In VR chat,
yes.
people are impregnating people in VR chat now.
Apparently.
Do you know anyone
My
who's
point
done it?
with this, where I was going with this was just like, if you do this, could you hypothetically do a breastfeeding stream with this baby? Since that is allowed, just
Oh.
hypothetically.
Oh, that's
Are
a
we
good
discovering a new
question.
content
Are
genre
are
here?
Okay,
you-
hear me out. Okay, let me think. Let me think about it. Okay, hear me out. I think if you did that, and I'm gonna say some stuff that might piss people off. I feel like if you did it in VR chat, maybe. If you did it as a VTuber stream that isn't VR chat, maybe not, because of the different ways that they're handled. Because VR chat is technically a game. So
Yeah,
maybe
like everything
in
would
VR
be
chat, because
in
it's
VR chat.
technically a game, you might. But if you the reason I think they allow breastfeeding is because if they're using a camera, like they don't want them to have to turn their camera off because it's a realistic necessity to feed their child. So the
Yeah.
question becomes, would Twitch see that as actually necessary or educational in the sense of breastfeeding as a natural thing? Or would they see it as something that is fetishizing it because of breasts? It would come down to whatever staff member saw it and looked at it and said, no, that makes sense, or nuh-uh. Is my best guess.
Yeah, I was about to say, okay, Fig. So
Yeah, I was gonna say
we have
Fig,
this
where you at?
hypothetical scenario.
Bring
How
us
to
to
br-
the higher ups, you said.
Oh my god. Yep.
Holy shit. Wait, if
Yeah,
you're gonna ask the higher ups, I also want to know if someone had a live 2D with their baby in it and they breastfed with it, would that also fly or no? I'm purely curious.
It
I
would be
don't
kind of
really care.
impossible to like prove. Like obviously you can say it, but maybe you're just saying it because
Yeah, and you could get stock baby sound effects and shit too. Like, there's a million ways to fake that shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But at that point, if you do that, if you're using the argument that, oh, I wasn't actually doing it, I was just doing it for views, like at that point, then you're admitting to fetishizing it, which is the other
Yeah,
way
but
where
they can't have double standards about an action because
yeah,
then people will be like, "How do you know?" etc. Or like, "I was just joking.
say
I actually was doing it," etc. Right? Like, it's
yeah.
one of those
But
things where
at
they
that
have
point,
to do it yes or no.
yeah, but at that point, what you're essentially doing is putting Twitch between a rock and a hard place.
Absolutely.
And
it's gonna end up
in
damaging
Twitch's
people who actually need to
history,
do it.
exactly, in Twitch history,
Mhm.
that usually leads to bad results.
Mhm. Absolutely. And then people get mad at Twitch, but the reality is, from a legal standpoint and a commercial standpoint, they have to have terms that are black and white in which they have to say yes or no. They can't say, oh, well, maybe, because if they leave it up to something that's subjective, legally, it cannot be held up to anything. They have
Yeah.
to have technical, logical, blatant, direct yes or no terms for things. And when they don't, they end up needing to add them to specify further. But then people get mad about it because
Okay.
they're like, oh, well, you made a clear statement. We didn't want that clear statement. And it's understandable. There's definitely ones that I don't like, but I would rather have clarity than vagueness where people get banned and don't know why. So, yeah.
Yeah. That honestly, if I could pick like one thing, that would really be it. I don't even mind them like having kind of vague rules. I just want to be explicitly explained to what I did wrong that led to my ban.
They did add a
If
feature
they
like
did
that,
that
but I
every
don't know
time-
exactly what it does now.
Yeah.
Why are you flipping stuff off? Stop that.
Radiant's telling me to get pregnant right now, and I'm not.
Plat, 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 plat.
No,
Plat.
no, I'm not getting pregnant. I'm not showing a hole. You two
I'll
are
show
the
a
ones
hole.
that you can't. You were the one who's getting pregnant, not me.
No one has to get pregnant.
Radiant wants somebody to get pregnant.
Why don't you get pregnant then, Radiant?
Yeah, Radiant.
You said Boshi? Yeah, but Boshi
Yeah.
doesn't want to.
I don't, and I'm not going to.
Girl, I
Look,
think you're gonna have to
Leafeon's
get
in chat.
plapped if you want that. Leaf! Leaf, I love you! Mwah!
Hello.
Y'all should check the group chat. What the fuck did you
Oh.
send?
Didn't.
Yeah, he sent
Oh,
the,
oh
the
my
art you
god.
drew.
You really have to bring that back? God fucking damn it.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of proud of that. I'm kind of proud of that.
It's
I'm gonna be real with
it's
you. I
stupid
still
how
feel
well
good about
done that is.
Yeah, well. Listen. Oh, you're gonna put it on screen? Let me give some context. During Tot's Christmas event, there was a game of
Alright,
Bardic Phone.
I'm gonna go refill
And-
my water while that happens.
And if you don't know what Gardic Phone is, it's basically like a game of telephone, like Whisper Down the Lane, whatever the fuck, but with drawings. And so you get a drawing, and then someone describes it, and then someone else draws it, etc., etc. And eventually you end up with something usually completely different, right? And I got the line that said, Tot got someone preggers? Chat goes wild. And I drew, quite literally, the moment of conception in a biological way, in which you can see the ovary, and the egg inside of the ovary, metaphorically, and a little sperm impacting the egg, and then a bunch of other little sperms that had like Mimi heads on them. And I was like, is this gonna be TOS or is this gonna be not? And then I had to message Tots mods, and they were like, oh
This is
my
fine.
god,
I'm okay
Rose.
with the events that are unfolding currently.
And I was like, is it okay? And they're like, yeah. And then it showed up, and everyone was just like, Rose, what is this? What in sweet hell did you create? Yeah, it's right there, yeah. And I'm still kind of proud of it. I think it came out pretty good. What do you think?
It's well drawn. I'll give you that.
Yeah, they don't call me Rose Doodle for nothing,
Yeah,
you know?
You know,
Yeah.
it's part of your name. I can't.
Well, that's
say
why
that.
I'm Rose Doodle. Because I'm Rose and I doodle.
Is that what it meant?
Yeah, because I used to do exclusively art streams before I was ever a VTuber. I had no model, no
Worked
camera,
out.
no microphone, none of that. It was literally just song requests from chat and me drawing for like 3 or 4 years minimum before anything. And then a little while after that, in 2018, I became a VTuber. But I didn't even know if I counted as a VTuber because I just made a live 2D model, and no one else in the community really did that. back then. There were like 2 or 3 other people maybe, and so people would come in and be like, "How are you an anime girl? What the fuck is that? What the hell?" But yeah.
I mean, that's a topic in and of itself. Todd is like,
Mm.
you don't feel like a real VTuber because you don't have a 2D model or that like
No, it's not that.
barrier or something, or what is it?
Mm.
It's not that I don't feel like one. It's more like,
Mm.
kind of talked about this before as well. I think I brought it up to you because it was like one of the talk about basically like sort of like gatekeeping almost, where
Yeah.
That's the word.
there is like a level of expectation. I guess it's more from the professional point of view, whereas indie streamers or indie VTubers, they aren't as heavily affected, but to some degree, if you're classified as a VTuber, there is like a level
Yeah.
of expectation that you need a live 2D, and also having talked with a couple of, I don't want to cause any issues or dramas. I'm not gonna specify names, obviously, but
Sure.
based on conversations that I have had in the past, there is a level of gatekeeping because of that, and it
Mm.
kind of goes back as well to VRChat, where VRChat creators aren't viewed as VTubers. They're
Mm.
they're different. They're below, kind of.
I know what you're talking about, and I think that some of that comes from the fact that VR chat is a game, much like the differentiation in rules on Twitch for it. Uh, but I do think that VR chat can be a medium to do VTubing in, but I do not think that VR chat is always inherently VTubing, because you can do VR chat as a role-playing game, you can do VR chat as a social network, you can also do it as a VTuber. So I think that there are cases in which, yes, it is VTubing. I consider you a VTuber. Yes. Do I consider giant streamer lobbies to be VTuber lobbies like what I did back in the day? Not really, because to me, that's more about memery content within a role playing atmosphere where you're just role playing more so than like doing VTubing traditionally. However, I would still argue that if somebody who did that considered themselves a VTuber, I wouldn't argue it, because I'm not going to sit here and tell someone else what they are. If someone thinks they're a VTuber and they want to be a VTuber, I don't give a fuck. Just be a fucking VTuber. If you want to define with that and identify with that, I don't give a fuck. It doesn't impact me any. Do whatever you fucking want. But when I think of
Yeah.
VTubing in the traditional sense, I do think that the original like VTubing concepts were first of all, they were mostly on YouTube. It was VTubing like Kizuna I, Amy, I forget her last name, but she was the one that came before Kizuna I. And then, you know, after that, it was like some 2D coming out and stuff. I feel like, I think Hololive came out after that, and then, but I think Hololive wasn't super huge when I first started because I didn't know much about them. I actually realized recently that I actually started streaming. I think before Korone, the brown-haired dog from Hololive, and I didn't realize that. And I was like, and then it made me, because I was looking to see how old Hololive was, because I have been VTubing for approaching 7 years, 6 years, something like that. And I was like, when did VTubing like start? And then I started looking through it all. So I think that like Hololive definitely popularized the format since they were like the first like big company out there. But things change and develop over time, and then a lot of indies came out. I started in 2018 doing VTubing, and there was barely anyone around at that time. And then the big boom in 2020 happened, and I feel like around then is when like stuff started being like, "What's a VTuber?" But the reality is that VTubing is basically we're glorified Muppets. We're glorified Muppets.
Yeah.
We're glorified anime Muppets. We're just puppeteering and piloting a mech that presents us. And if that's what you do, and you make content with it, whether it's live or on YouTube or whatever, you can be a VTuber. I don't give a fuck. So if someone wants to gatekeep it and be like, "You're not a VTuber," or "This isn't a VTuber," you know what I have to say? It's going back to that thing where you have way too much fucking time on your hands and you're focusing on that instead of making content, and you are going to scare people away because you're too busy fucking like getting all pissy about what isn't a VTuber when you just make some fucking content. And that's that.
Okay.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
people waste their time on a lot of dumb shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. People argue about all kinds of shit all the time, and I just stared. I'm like, I'm too old and too tired for this shit.
Damn. Okay, we'll get you to the retirement home one day.
One day. This year's gonna be my 10-year streaming anniversary. Maybe I'll go to the retirement home after that.
I
Damn.
mean, could you imagine going to like a retirement home and seeing like some old people like got their laptop set up and they're like, today we're gonna be, we're gonna be playing Fortnite.
They just hear
I
me
could
screaming
see that
"Rose
happening,
and Shine"
actually.
and just be like, "Shut the fuck up!"
I'm trying to eat my Jello pudding over here, bitch.
Shut up, Edith!
Shut it.
Okay, actual like taking up, but like on a serious note, there is like actually that will actually be our future, not necessarily like ours in particular, but just our
yeah, yeah.
generation kind of in general.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
when we get to that age, I'm sure that there will be a large number of them who will still be active online and like
Oh yeah.
participate in like
I'm gonna stream
that
till
is
I
kind of
fucking
interesting.
die. You can't get rid of me. I'm
Well,
here.
seeing the stuff that we're doing now, but like 40 years from now when we're all old, it'll be weird, but at the same time there will be like newer technology that we don't understand. That'll be like that's the new stuff, and so it'll be like yeah,
No,
that VTubing stuff is outdated. No,
I
you don't think so?
disagree.
I disagree
Really?
too. I think that we will ultimately keep up with trends until until someone graduates, and then they're gonna not keep up with it anymore.
Okay, I
Okay.
partially disagree with that. I think that when it comes to like social trends, I think that is a lot more difficult to keep up with. But technology wise, I do think that we are not gonna have that this what would the right word be? Like when you
Describe
think
it.
of the current generation of old people, like our
Oh
grandparents,
yeah.
they are not really super technologically like literate.
Yeah,
They don't
but they also
really keep
weren't
up with
born
that.
with like all this stuff being normal
Exactly.
to them.
Yes, and that's my point, is that we're not going to have that illiteracy for technology. I think we're always going to have a fair level of understanding to where we can at least use it daily. We might not be
Yes.
making the latest advanced guides or comparison,
Yes.
but we will keep up with where we can use it. But social
also what
trends,
I'm
that might be a
thinking.
little bit more difficult. I think there might
I
be
think that our
some who might
audiences
be
will
able
age
to
with
keep up,
us is
but
the thing.
that's a fair point.
Partly. I mean, there's always going to be new people coming in. There's always going to be new kids learning the internet exists and being a part of it.
And realistically, I don't want stupid ass kids in my chat anyway, so they can go away anyway.
Your stupid ass kids are then people, they grow out or they stop watching. Some people
There's
get
people
lives
in
and
my
they can't.
chat that are like 60, dude. What do you mean?
Well, I hope they enjoy the pudding, and
They probably do.
it's good.
There's people who are like regulars in my chat who are like 40s plus. And
I mean, we've got feast.
ain't nobody gonna
We get a
fucking grow
couple.
out of that shit.
40
Some might,
something.
but there will be people who stick around.
Either way, also Chris brought up something of like already feeling behind when it comes to like AI stuff. Like that's a
AI
new
stuff.
technology.
That's
I feel like people in the VTuber sphere
interesting topic.
heavily reject AI.
But is that the
Yeah.
future though?
Is that the
That's
future?
the question.
I think that is too difficult of a question to answer right now, purely because legal stuff has not caught up. And until legal stuff catches up, there's not going to be a clear answer because nobody's going to know what's legally allowed and not. Ethically, I am not a fan of it, but I don't really want to like argue about that. If you guys have any feelings about it, I personally do not like it. I only see the appeal of using it in like automated tools. Like if you want to like set up macros in Photoshop, or if you want to have something that automatically blurs the edges of something. Like, but to generate art and stuff, I'm not a fan of that. No, I do not like that.
Yeah.
I would not consent to it personally to have my stuff be used for it. I do not want fan art of that kind of stuff, etc. It's just not my I do not really condone or like it, but I also understand that I can only control myself and I can't control other people. So I'm not gonna go running around campaigning about anything and getting all in a fit about it. I'm just gonna do what I can do about stuff. And yeah,
Yeah, I fully believe that
Yeah.
as well. Of
yeah.
like art stuff like that, using it for that, I'm not a fan. But using it for programs and the stuff and the way that AI has been around and been used for like decades now, that's fine.
Yes.
Like that
Yeah,
I'm fine with.
using it as a utility instead of to generate stuff makes more sense to me, but it is a very, very selective thing. And I think that people, when you ask them about that, put everything in one basket when the reality is that, first of all, I personally don't understand a lot of it, so I feel like I can't form a solid opinion in the first place because I do not believe in forming a strong opinion about something that I am not informed enough about. But also, like, most people who tend to scream their opinions don't even know everything about what they're screaming about in the first place or don't consider every facet of it. And so that's why I just mostly stay out of it and I say, I don't want my stuff used for it. I don't approve of stuff of me with it. I'm going to ignore those things because getting mad about it does nothing. And whoever's doing that, if they do that ever, we'll just do it anyway. So what's the point in me getting in a hissy fit about it outside of like having it taken down if I need to or whatever, right?
Yeah. I
There's
do
only so
think
much I can
that,
do.
yeah, I heavily agree with that whole like we don't really know everything what it will be and the full extent of everything. And
Mm-mm-mm.
I feel like that's just like where it starts and where it ends. Like it's too early, kind of. And I
Yeah.
think it's wrong to just flat out black and white just reject it, like reject anything AI. I think that's wrong because there
Mm.
are applicable uses for it.
Yeah,
But
automation
there are
and tools
also
is where I see it actually being useful.
yeah. But then there's also
Yeah.
use cases that why the fuck does that even exist? Kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think a lot of people also just think when you ask about AI that you're talking about AI art, and I feel
Yeah.
like that is its whole other beast. Like because if
Yeah,
my
that's kind
logic
of like
is,
where it muddies the
mm-mm-mm.
water.
Yeah, so my logic with that is if something was sourced unethically, it is not ethical. If something was sourced ethically with everyone understanding what is happening, everyone approving what is happening, go fucking nuts. You made it, you said okay, you do whatever you want. But if someone didn't sign up for that and all that kind of stuff, I can't see how that's ethical. That's my logic. And I understand that there's a lot of complicated stuff there that I don't understand, so maybe there's more to it, but that's from what I know, that's my feelings. You need
Yeah,
to source things ethically and respect consent, and if you don't do that, then that's I'm sorry, but that's kind of cringe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
I mean, I agree with all of like I don't really have much to add to that
Yeah.
because it's just how it is.
Yeah,
Respect
someone
people.
said something sourced on public stuff without asking. Yeah, I don't like that.
that. Okay.
Mm,
Perfect transition because that's another thing that I have. I
mm,
just yesterday, I
mm,
had like at the end of stream when I was getting distracted from ending. One of the topics that came up was
mm.
specifically copyright, but more important, like not copyright as in the traditional sense of this
Mm.
live music publishing company owns the rights to all these songs.
Yeah.
Not that type, but more like
Uh,
I am a very avid fan of and approver of like open source, sharing is caring,
yeah.
that kind of like mentality. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm also on mentality of if you upload something to the internet, even
Yeah.
if you made it and you like by uploading it publicly, you do to some degree, in my opinion, like I don't want to say throw away the rights, but you do like you open up to some level of people can take that and transform it. Basically, I don't think it's
Mm.
fair. I don't think it's right to upload something and then say that nobody's allowed to edit this. You give
Mm.
that away by making it public. basically.
I
That's my
understand what you're
opinion.
saying, and a lot of people do think stuff like that. Realistically, from a legal standpoint, from my understanding, if you create something like, let's say you draw a stick figure and you color it in and you post it online, because you made it, you own the copyright to it, giving you the right to do whatever you want with it, whether that's post it online, share it with other people, make it something open source, keep it only for yourself, have the rights to it, whatever, right? So ultimately, if you say, I do not want people using the materials that I have the intellectual property over, then people have to legally respect that. And sure, they can take it and appropriate it and post it online because realistically, that's what happens on the internet. But you also have legal grounds to DMCA them, have it removed, or have it, taken off, or claim it for a profit so that you get the share of the profit from it and stuff like that because you
Yeah. Okay.
own the intellectual property there, legally
Yeah.
speaking.
That is a
Mm.
when it comes to my opinion on this, that is a very distinguishing like factor that I want to establish is that when I say that people should be allowed to edit it, transform it, I don't mean to resell it.
Mm.
That is a very important thing to add here. I'm not talking about taking a product, changing it a little, and then selling it as your product. That is not what I'm referring to. I'm talking
Okay.
about like, I honestly can't think of an example off the top of my head, but just in
I can
general,
give you an example. You mean
transformative,
like if
creative.
let's say I draw a meme and then someone reposts that meme and they post someone else's face over it with their mascot as the other character or something.
Yes,
You're
stuff
talking
like
stuff
that.
more like that. So that falls into
Yeah.
a gray area where sometimes you might have grounds. However, you typically won't if you're using the original art and just pasting something over it like that because that's probably not going to be transformative enough. You technically might be able to get away with it, but it's definitely going to be rocky and you're going to get a lot of differentiating opinions from whoever you ask. And it really depends on
Yeah.
how much you transform that kind of stuff and how much you like the way that you handle it. Personally, I don't care too much when people do that kind of stuff, though I do prefer that they credit me. And I would be annoyed if someone like if I drew something and I was excited and proud of it, and then it blew up and I got no credit for it and stuff. I'd be like, depending on what it was, I might be annoyed.
Yeah.
But realistically, I would know that I have legal grounds to handle it however I want to, so I would just handle it however I wanted to at that point. I do think if someone posts something and they draw it and they say, I made this and I would prefer no one used it, then you are free to draw your own version of it, inspired by it, because that's just using it as inspiration and using it as a format, content-wise, idea-wise, because then you're making your own, essentially parody of it, and parody law is different in the sense that it's like how Weird Al can get away with a lot of stuff, where you can make a parody of something because it's so transformative that it's no longer the original thing. So you can do that kind of thing. Yeah. So you can do that kind of thing a lot of the time. But with the artist community, I know that there are some people who are very, very defensive over certain aspects of their art and stuff. And some people think that they own ideas even though nobody owns an idea unless they have literally like a trademark or a copyright or whatever the fuck it is, that a patent, I think is the word, over it. And even then, it's for a specific purpose, because when you get a patent, it's like, let's say you invented the fucking spatula, right? And you're like, I want a patent over this. You have to have a patent over it as a cooking item for a specific use, blah, blah, blah. And you have to have it all handled like that. And then if someone makes something that's just like it, but it's like a fucking video game controller, you can't say shit about that. There's no patent on it. So it just comes down to a lot of legal mumbo jumbo shit that I am not informed enough of that.
Yeah.
Generally, I will just respect whatever I see someone say, and if I really want it so bad, I'll just make my own version because I can draw.
Yeah, that's kind of like,
yeah.
realistically, there's not really an issue. Most people respect this and do it respectfully.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are occasionally those instances where someone pushes it and really tries to. Here, I had a really good example earlier, or if it was yesterday, that I was thinking of. That's why I wrote it down and all. But yeah, in general, I know for a fact that my opinion on this is like on the extreme end, and I understand that legally speaking, I am in the wrong. I completely understand that, and I will respect
Oh yeah,
that.
if you were the
Obviously,
one doing that, in that case, yes. But it's
Yeah,
also just something
I'm
that happens
fully
that
aware of it.
people handle however they want. So
Yeah, it's also a mix of, as a content creator, people transforming your content, especially fans transforming your content. That is like the best thing they can make. Like that, if you have
oh, I love
fans
when people
that
like edit my
transform,
clips
edit,
or like
change,
fuck with
do
them and shit.
anything,
Yeah,
yeah, that is like,
but I consent to them doing that too. So
yeah, but like, even if, again, this is only extreme opinion, even if you didn't want them, like, say you make a
Welcome. You are
specific stream, a YouTube
tuna.
video, and you like explicitly don't want people to do anything with this,
yeah,
that is one of those instances where, yes, most fans would respect that. Most people would respect that. But there is, in my opinion, that is one of those cases where you if you publish it publicly, you can't demand it, basically. You can ask for it. Most people will respect it, but you cannot demand it. And that's kind of like, again, I know it's an extreme opinion, but
I have a slightly shifted opinion of that, which is you can demand it and enforce it with DMCA and stuff. But realistically, you have to accept that you're going to have to deal with some semblance of somebody disrespecting your desires. And it is up to you if you want to pursue the legal routes in order to resolve that or if you want to tolerate it. So, like,
yeah.
I got a great example of this. I don't know if you remember my old 3D model where I could inflate my breasts and my thighs, right? And some people are like, oh my God, it's like inflation. And I'm like, no, no, no. It's because people used to be like, you're like a little kid, Rose. And I'm like, I'm not a little kid. I'm a grown ass bitch. I pay my taxes. I pay my rent. Fuck you. And then I would inflate the fucking tits to be like, see, I got big old bazongas. Happy now? And they'd be like, oh, okay, fine. So then people got this idea that like, oh, rose doodle inflation, right? So they would draw fan art of that. And I was like, I don't like that, to be super clear. But I also understand that realistically, I can't tell people what to draw. I don't have to acknowledge it. I don't have to like it. I accept that that is simply something that will happen because I am in a career path in which I am a public facing figure where people are
Yeah.
going to draw or say or do whatever they want regarding me as a person, so they can draw or post whatever the most fucked up shit they want is, and I'm not gonna have to like all of it. And I definitely don't accept it, but I understand that the reality is that sort of stuff will happen, and if they use my content in it, I can DMCA it. And otherwise, I can just happily ignore it or mute it and just say, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I can't tell you what to do. So I leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can demand people do
Anything.
stuff, but it doesn't mean they'll listen.
Yeah. Been going back and forth quite a bit, so if you have anything you want to add, just
I don't make shit that can be copywritten. I don't know anything about copyright. So
stream.
I stream.
No,
Yeah,
like,
and I don't. People can do what they want with the clip. I don't give a shit.
okay,
Like I, it's
So
an
you're saying I can
example
draw
that
you
would
pregnant?
apply to you.
been
No, no,
done
no.
before.
Here's a much better example
Doesn't
for
answer my
him.
question.
What?
Let's say, doesn't matter how this happened is not of importance. But let's have a scenario where someone got their hands on your model,
Mozzarella,
someone outside the community,
Gouda,
someone you don't
brie,
know, and
cream
they started.
cheese.
Maybe they add into it a little, but essentially they start making content, doing stuff of their own. How would that be like? A more applicable scenario for you,
I
I
mean,
guess.
I get. Yeah,
Like,
it'd be annoying.
DMCA them.
Do you think I have a lawyer?
You don't need a lawyer to DMCA. I've sent DMCAs out a bajillion times. What the fuck are you on?
Then I guess I would do. I'd be like, hey, don't use my model. I guess.
The way you DMCA is you like if someone does that. Let's say somebody starts streaming as you on Twitch, and this is a custom model, right? This is your model, your design, all that
Yeah.
stuff. You own the character design, right? So if you own that, if you commission this and you paid for it and you have all that. And I'm gonna just we'll use Ta as an example because yours is a from scratch model, so that's way more black and white, right?
Yeah.
Your model, you paid for it, you bought the rights to it, you own it, it's you, it's yours, no one else has the rights to it, right? Someone takes it, starts streaming as you. you have every right in the world to go DMCA their ass because you own the intellectual property that is Totless. You own the intellectual property that is specifically that 3D model. You own the likeness to yourself, etc., etc., etc. So you have every right to go and say no, 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 no. That is my property. That is my intellectual property. You cannot use that. I'm going to send the DMCA to so the way it would work is if it was on Twitch, you would send a DMCA to Twitch specifically, not to the individual, and say, you are hosting this content on your platform. You are not allowed to host content that is mine that I did not consent to being hosted on your platform. So you need to remove it. And then if it was in VR chat, you would need to do the same thing and send it to VR chat as well and say, this is being hosted on your servers, on your platform, and I do not consent to that. Please have it removed. And then they will have to send notice to the other person and say, hey, remove this. And then they can either pursue legal action towards you and defend themselves, which they really have no grounds to do, so why would they? Or they can say, okay, I'll remove it. Or they can ignore it and probably just have it manually removed by the team. So,
Yeah.
yeah. That's usually how that works.
I don't think I
Maybe.
own me.
You might not. If you're off a booth base or anything like that, then you would probably have to tell the creator of that base and have them handle it potentially, depending on if it's a customized version of that base or anything. Or you would have to contact them and get the okay to send it, but and do it as an agent of theirs and say that you are doing it on behalf of them and they have given you permission to do so.
But I'm like I'm not one, like my body is something. The clothes are from somewhere else. The hair is from a old ass model. The face
Sure.
is t- it was remade by Net.
The
She made
reality
it, but
is,
I didn't buy
like,
it, so
the
it's
reality
hers, I
is
guess.
somebody owns all of this stuff and you are using it within the TOS that was provided for each of those pieces. If somebody else is using it, it might not be under those TOS, like under their TOS, because it's either being duplicated and redistributed technically or something else. So you would have grounds somewhere on something like that probably, but it would be way more complicated, yeah.
Yeah, I'm no one
Yeah.
person owns me. Like a bunch of people own me, I
Mhm.
guess.
Yeah, and that's part of why I do not upload my models to VR chat because I heard that it's better now. But back when I used to stream in VR chat, I know way back, and
Oh,
this is
that.
years
Ooh.
ago at this point, ripping was very, very, very easy compared to now. Apparently it's harder to now. I don't know enough about that to really say, but I know that it's been made way more difficult. But like way back when I used to stream on it, it was pretty easy. There was just like plugins and people just like yoink, and then you were stolen. So I never ever would put my from scratch 3D models in back then because I do not want someone else having access to that. So that's why I used more
Yeah,
booth
I
models in
guess
VR chat.
that is like the other side of all of this, I guess, because my opinion on that has always been like, to put it very bluntly, I've never understood why people are so, I don't want to say protective, but more like what people are so
Possessive?
personally like, yeah, possessive. I guess that would be a good term to use about like their avatars and like this is not specifically aimed at you or to put you on the spot. It's more like just in general because there have been instances where people have been extremely like, oh, someone ripped their avatar, their whole life is ruined, basically that kind of reaction. And I've
logic
never
there.
understood
Oh,
why
yeah,
people are like
continue.
that.
Never? I have
Never.
seen cases in which people have had their
And
models ripped and then they made adult content with it, and I can understand being upset about that per se. I've seen people rip avatars and then use them for their own streams. I can understand being mad about that because you don't want. What if that person says something inappropriate, it gets clipped, it goes viral, and then they think it's the other person? You know, it's things like that that I think people worry about when their model is ripped. And also, a lot of people, I feel like in VR chat, have a lot of immersion in which they connect with their model so much that they identify with it, so they feel like a part of them is being stolen and they feel like that's not okay and they feel violated in a way because of that is what I would speculate would be part of what is upsetting to them. So I can understand like if you have that kind of connection with your model or any of that kind of stuff, like then yeah, I can understand being distressed by that to the degree that someone would feel like their life is over. But you also need to understand that your life is not over. It's VR chat is ultimately the end of the day a social network and a game. And even if someone does have your model for whatever reason, they still aren't you. So like they might be able to look
Yeah,
like you, but they're not you.
that what it comes down to me, because it for me, my model is quite literally from the start. It was a visual, like turning how I felt on the inside and turning it into a character. That was basically the creation of my OC.
Yeah.
So I have always been extremely, extremely like personally connected with this design, and why it has stayed like within the same boundaries this entire time and not really changed overly too much. And yeah, that's I don't know.
Yeah.
There was something else I was thinking of, but I completely fuck. What the fuck was it?
Take your
You're
time.
lost.
My cat's down here, so I'm petting it.
Well, King.
Yeah, King's down here. He's a good boy. Yeah.
that.
Was it about the
I
copyright
think there
stuff?
was
Was it about
something.
the
I think it
avatar?
had
You feel
something to do
relate
with
to
what
it?
Radiant said in chat. I think.
What, the expectation that if you
Uh,
uploaded something, it was automatically going to be taken?
maybe, but
Mm. Well, if you
yeah,
think of it, you can come back to it.
I
It's
don't remember.
whatever.
If I think of it, I'll.
Someone said, Kitten said, if you are good at anything, people will always try to copy your style and want to look like it. Dude, when I was streaming VR chat and I first started off, holy fucking shit. All of a sudden, random cute girls would end up like getting into the lobby and like trying to talk to me the same way that I talk and like act exactly like me. And I was like, what is fucking happening? And then they would just be like, I want to be just like you, and I'm like, okay, but like, it's fine, but like, it's kind of weird, like,
Yeah.
oh my
You're
god,
inspired.
it's fine to be inspired, but it's also kind of like unsettling to see like such a sudden shift in their behavior.
That is
Yeah.
something I can speak on from like an extremely personal, like, I have been there. I've been the person who did that. My original
Yeah?
character, because I was still new to everything, I was still learning and stuff. I couldn't make an entire character from scratch. So when I first started out, I actually, because I was such a huge fan of Chromia, I've talked about this before and been very open about it. Back then, I did more or less the exact same what Chromia did. Basically, she took she had her Hopu, but when she made her first like adult version, she got the body of a booth model and then head swapped it basically. And I thought that looked so good that I did the exact same thing with the exact same booth model.
Yeah.
And that was like, I was very similar. I also did a similar small Hopu model, very much how hers it was. And this was because I looked up to her. I loved her content. I thought her
Yeah.
design was really cool as well. So that is where it started. But like, I quickly realized how, well, to put it bluntly, how fucking weird that is and how fucking stupid.
Chromia.
So I very quickly tried to differentiate myself and go in a different direction, because it was more than just inspire. Like, I felt like
Did you
I
act
was
the same
copying
too?
her. I don't want to say I acted the same, but I definitely did. So, okay, good example. Not her specifically, but back then, all content creators that had a small avatar like that, one thing that was very recognizable was that everyone had a form of weapon. So
Yeah.
my idea was that, okay, I need a weapon because everyone else has that. So I made a newspaper. Krelmia kind of popularized the whole Hopu lolly kind of that base. She made it like into the super popular one, like thing they became, and it had a cat sound. So instead of like doing the exact same thing, I made my own cat sound basically that was different, but it's the same thing, just a different, not like different tones basically.
It's different
Yeah.
meow, but it's still a meow.
Yeah, but so like I did copy her, but I transformed it a little bit. But again, I was tiptoeing that like line between copying and being inspired. So when I realized, I
Mm.
started to push myself into differentiating myself more and more. But yeah, I have been there. I've been on that side. I've been that person. So I know like from firsthand experience about doing those mistakes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if
Yeah.
that's like if I am biased because of that. Because at the same time, if I had the rights to do it, I would release this model. I would not give a shit if someone used it to stream, if someone used it
Oh.
in VR chat. I will not give at all. I can't because I don't have the rights to do it. That was not part of the agreement that I bought this model under. And I know for a fact that they have said that I could buy those permissions, but there's not like a financial incentive to do so because it's a very big cost. Like
Yeah,
being
yeah.
allowed to, because I am essentially everything that I paid for,
Redistributing it.
I'm giving out for free. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a very big thing. So
Oh.
yeah, it's
Someone said, "What are you guys
again,
yapping about? Stop yapping." You listen, little creature. We're talking. You're here to listen to us talk. That's the stream. Have you ever
My
been to a
brother in
stream, babe?
Christ.
Good
Th-
lord.
They went into a podcast and were like, "Why are these people fucking talking? What the fuck? Shut up!"
Sorry, I just needed to call them out because Jesus fucking Christ, calm your tits, bro. Also, with what you were saying about you being
count
a
created
copycat
4
and all
minutes
that,
ago.
that's actually so funny. They're probably 4 minutes old too.
Mods.
Ban them. Okay, so you're saying that you feel like you were a copycat because you took the same model base and all that stuff. I remember people being very, very protective about that kind of stuff and thinking like that's kind of stupid because it's a booth model. You do not own the rights to it. You do not own that. No one owns a Hoppo model or whatever the fuck it's called. Nobody owns whatever body base it was or whatever the fuck. So if anything, I would say you were following a trend that Chromia started. I wouldn't say you were copying. Now, as far as content format, it was definitely heavily inspired, and I think that if you too directly mimic someone's content style, it's going to come off as inauthentic and it's not going to bring in an audience. But I think that if you turn something into your own content and have your own format that is loosely inspired by something, that's fine and generally will bring in people because it's something that's actually authentically related to you. So I don't think that using the same model base is copying. And I remember when people used to like in VR chat, they used to be like, I use this model and then this person got it. Oh my god, they're the devil. And then everyone else started using it and now I'm mad about it. You don't own it. If you want a unique model that only you can have, commission an artist to make one. You do not own a booth model. You do not own a color scheme. You do not own any of that shit. Do not come in here and tell me you do. So you are not copying someone. You are taking assets that were publicly available, buying them, and using them because you like the way someone else did it. And yeah, if
Okay.
someone consistently does that to you, yeah, it's gonna be weird and creepy and kind of annoying. But if it just happens to be that you already used a base that someone else used that's already wildly popular, because I've seen a million people use those bases, you can't really say you stole it from one person who happens to be popular in using it.
Yeah.
You can't.
Now, like content wise, back then my content was very different from Chromia's. She was just I don't remember like all the specifics about it. I know that the content was different because well, I didn't have the confidence that she did. She was way more engaging in like with the world around her, like physical virtual world around her because she came from that era of content creators like stream lobbies back then. She had more experience with that and that was kind of what she was more used to. So it was more or less like knowing the reasoning in my head why I chose those parts. I guess that plays a big part of it in it and
That makes
why I
sense.
feel this way.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it was a
lot of
conscious
people-
decision that I made, but that I chose those because she had them. I thought that looked cool.
Yeah. But that's just because you like that design and that style and you felt like you resonated with it. It's kind of like when I was doing the art chat and I had the low polygon and it was popping off. Everyone was like, oh my god, that model's so cute. And then suddenly they were everywhere. People told me that like they think I was the reason that got popular. I was not the reason it got popular. Maybe in the streaming sphere, people saw it more because of me, but I was not the one that popularized that. It was already popular in a lot of Japanese communities. I am not the originator. I am not the one that made that pop off, etc. But other streamers might see that, or other people who want to stream might see that and go like, oh, people like that model, I'm gonna try using that model. And you know what, if I got mad about that, I would be a dickhead because I don't own that model. If anything, I should be happy that that creator that I bought the model from is getting more money, and then they'll probably make more models that I like,
Yeah.
and then I get that, and then I'm happy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember the other topic. Before
yeah.
I go on another rant,
Yeah.
is there anything you want to talk about?
No.
Oh, me or him?
Well, both of you.
I don't know. I can talk about anything forever. I'm just a yapper.
I just wanna. You're the
What
guest, so
exactly
it's
do you
fine. But
expect
I
me to
feel like I
do with
take.
this?
I've been talking so much and not given.
I mean, I literally went on like a
Bullshit
fucking essaying ass tangent like 10 minutes ago. So
I mean, I call
Yeah,
myself
that's
a
fine.
yapper, but I feel like you two really do yap more than I do, and that's
I mean,
just the
90%
yeah.
of my content is yapping. So I
Yeah.
feel like
It
I
makes
just like
sense.
talking.
I'm just kind of
Yeah.
here.
Well, what are you thinking about, Boshi?
I Tot was said she was gonna say something and then forgot, and then I'm thinking she should say it before she fucking forgets again.
Probably.
That's
What were you
what
gonna
I'm
say,
thinking.
Tot?
Hello?
You did not forget again, did you?
This is
Yeah.
why I said no immediately so you can get onto your fucking
Oh my
point.
fucking god, you're just like me for real, for real.
I
Sometimes I
Uh,
stop mid sentence and forget stuff when I'm streaming, and then I'm like, wait, and then chat just fucking they do the same thing. They just don't mega law at me.
They're laughing at you because you deserve to be laughed at.
it was
You were like,
something.
"Oh,
It has
fuck
something
you."
to do with avatars and
You
VR
wish.
chat. I just.
What about
Man,
avatars
what
in
was
VR
it?
chat?
You were talking
I-
about getting
I
those
don't
models,
know.
and then I was talking about people getting mad that people use the same model, and I was happy that people use the model that I liked because then I would get more models from that person because they would make more to get more money from it, and how it's not stealing if you just mash stuff together because you like the same like setup that someone else has. Does that jog your memory at all? Was there something about avatars being ripped?
No.
Actually, I had a
Well, yes, I
question.
do think it. I do think it has something to do with avatars being ripped, but I can't think of it. And yes, I did
Why
scroll
would
up.
you want to redistribute your model? Out of curiosity.
Because it's part that giving people that not opportunity, but like access to that kind of stuff that I didn't have access to when I first got started. Because a lot of the stuff that I had made, I have released, and it's available for download, like in the Discord and stuff like that. And it's on another thing. It's from the view of a content creator, where if you look at any of the big agencies, whether it's Sanji or Hola, they all release their talents modeled as MMD models, so people
Do
can make fan
they?
creations. Yes, most of them do
Huh.
at least.
I didn't know that.
I don't
I
want to
didn't
say
know
that
that
all of
either.
them do.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know that for sure, but I know a lot of them do.
They have a lot of strict. Oh no,
I know
do know that
Genshin
about
Impact
Hololive.
has
They have
done that
a
as
lot
well.
of strict rules too, though, and people violate them constantly.
Well, no
Yes,
shit.
Yeah.
that's completely different. Again, that's kind of part of if you release something for public, like
Yeah.
you can say this is what you can do and this is not, like, don't do this.
And then
But
you
if you
decide
release it
how
to the
much you
public,
dictate that. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
the internet is how the internet is, basically. Whether it's right or wrong, that's different. But yeah.
Yeah.
So the other side is basically that just I think that promoting that promotes a healthy creative community. Giving the community access to that, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Just it promotes a very healthy creative community. It gives them the opportunity to do those kinds of fan creations if they want to. If they want to take that and just see how it's made, I guess that's another thing. It's just like it's kind of like in the sense of casting your net as wide as possible, so that when the opportunity arises, you're able to pull the net in and capture that opportunity. It's kind of partially part down that road, I guess.
I can see that. I think that there's merit in doing that, and I do wish there was a way to do that where you could dictate the usage of it better. I don't think I would ever do it myself, even if I had the right to, simply because I wouldn't. I don't like the idea of someone else using my model. I don't like the idea of someone impersonating me. I don't like the idea of someone using it to make adult content of me or making content I don't approve of, whether it's something like, just goes against my morals or whatever. And also,
Yeah.
like, because I didn't make my model, I also, like, I don't know if that any of that is proprietary information, so I'm not gonna put that there for that reason too. So yeah, like for me, I don't think I could, but I do wish there was a way to share it while having more control over the usage. But until
Yes.
that's ever an option, I don't see myself ever doing it. Yeah.
I
But I
can
like the
completely
idea that you
understand
do.
that. Yeah, I like being able to control a bit more of how it's utilized and how it's used. I think there's
Yeah.
like a lot of merit to having that potential in the future. I'm not gonna say that I'm okay with it. Like, I don't want people to impersonate me. I would
Well,
prefer
yeah, you just
if people don't
understand that
stream with
it
it.
might happen.
Exactly. It's not that I'm
Yeah.
okay with it. I just understand that I can't stop it, and
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm not gonna go out of my way to stop it either. Like, that's too much effort, too much work. Can't be bothered.
Yeah, that makes sense. Shut the fuck up, Drill. Rose trying to listen to someone else for 5 seconds without going, challenge impossible. You know what it's called? It's called affirmative listening. It's called affirmative listening. Sometimes people do that so that you know that they're paying attention.
Yeah, I do that as well. I
Yeah.
had to stop myself. You're gonna yell at me because somebody made fun of me for it. Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Yeah, of course it's
Because
because why are you
it
letting
is
someone else
also
dictate what you do?
it's because it feel like I don't know. I get annoyed by it sometimes. I notice myself doing it. I'm like, I keep doing this. Anytime somebody says something, I'm like, yeah.
Because
I
you're
know
acknowledging that they've said
it's
it.
active listening. I'm aware.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's acknowledgement.
it's the same way I start like most sentences with yeah.
Well,
'Cause it's just
people do that
it's the,
too, because it's like it's showing that you were like, yes, I
yeah, I
hear
listen.
you. Yeah. Every 2 seconds, I don't know.
Yep.
I guess I still do it though. I still do it, and I'm still gonna keep doing it. I just
I prefer
it's
when
part of my
people
little
do.
brain. You do?
What?
Yes, because
I
as you said,
do.
my mind wanders so much that it acknowledges that they're listening.
Yeah.
Even if they're doing something else, to me at least, it means that okay, they're paying some level of attention,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Because they're not just zoning out on something. They're just like, oh, okay, no, you actually hear me because you're responding to me, even if you're not speaking to interrupt me. You know?
Yeah. Even if
I
it's
don't
just
know.
like a nod to someone saying something or any form of sign that, affirmative listening, basically. Yeah.
The thing is, I've definitely zoned the fuck out while someone was talking and then responded with yeah
I've done that
and
before, and
like
I go, yeah,
active.
and then I go, wait, what?
Yeah, well, no, I just don't say anything. I'm like, here's hoping
Yes.
it wasn't
For
anything important.
earlier,
What?
earlier before we started, that is why I asked for clarification, for example, because I did zone out a little, so I just wanted to clarify. Just without getting into
You
yeah.
you can play your way through it by like using context
Yeah,
clues
but
of
then
what was
you don't get to
happening.
be part of the conversation, dipshit.
I can't be a part of every conversation I have.
Yes, you
To
can.
me,
What?
like acknowledging that, okay, I didn't quite catch that. Can you repeat that, or can you clarify this, or I didn't hear that? That is
Sorry,
a
what?
form of respect, in my opinion.
Yeah. Shut the
Okay,
fuck
you can
up.
do it
You're
respectfully, but
so
you can also be an ass about it.
stupid.
But generally speaking, if I'm talking to someone and they do that, that is like, it's respectful in my eyes, because it means like they want to be sure that they catch it all, that they understand.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like, I guess, a form of maturity, almost like mental maturity.
It's owning up the fact that you weren't listening and then also showing that you care about what you're saying. So please repeat it. I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you don't listen and then you don't ask for repeating or clarification or whatever, you are essentially saying I wasn't listening and also I don't care. Is how it feels if you find out they weren't listening.
I think it's a challenge. I view it as a challenge sometimes when I zone out halfway through, re-zone back in, and try to figure out, okay, what's the topic? It's like a challenge. It's like how
I
much
will
of this
literally just
information
say
did
that.
Yeah, but
There
then
have
I
been
feel
times where
bad.
I'm hanging out with like Buff and Shia and people, and I'm like, "Wait, what are we talking about?" And they're like, "Oh, Rose, you silly cat," and I'm just like, "But what are we
You can
talking
either get
about, though?"
silly or mad, though.
If they get mad, they have every right to get mad. You were supposed to be listening.
Yeah, but I'm bad at that.
Improve. Work on improving. You don't need to magically become god at it overnight, but work on it. If you
I'm working
struggle
on
with
it.
it, then you know what it is?
What?
For me personally, if I am like talking to a bunch of people and then I get distracted by my phone or a computer or a game or watching someone else do something, it's over. So what I do is I take away the stimuli and then I focus. You know?
I would like to do that, but like in this case, I have you here and I have the levels of my OBS right there, which I occasionally get distracted by. But I need to make sure that the levels are okay during this.
No.
That way, yeah, because I don't want it to sound like shit.
I'll tell you if you sound like shit.
You can't tell me. It's chat that would have to tell me, of which then I have to look at chat and pay attention to that, which is another stimuli.
Yeah, but we're talking with chat sometimes. Like that's they're right up there. They're so cute. Look at them. Look at them
Yeah,
up here. Yeah, look at you guys. You're so cute, huh?
I'll be honest, I feel like when it comes to stuff like that, like audio levels and stuff, I don't think they matter too much. Like, bad quality can improve a good stream, but bad quality will not ruin a good stream.
I peek on stream all the time. Though I will say, so me and Vichibon, we have a podcast called Vichi Banter, and for that I use a separate microphone, and we have like audio people like make sure it's not fucked up before we upload stuff. So like for that we try to make sure it's like high quality audio, and I have a special microphone with like profile and all that kind of stuff for it. But like ultimately, if your audio is getting that fucked up, then hire an audio person. Stop
You think
staring
we're
at it. You're gonna
professional
distract
enough to have
yourself.
a fucking audio tech guy?
You can find them for reasonable prices.
There are multiple people in our community, in our event team, who are literal audio experts.
But do I need an audio expert for
If you're
my
getting distracted
for
on
my
your own
stupid
podcast, then
fucking
yes.
for my
If
own
you care about the audio that
stream?
much, then yes,
Well,
that
I
is
just
an
wanna make sure it
investment
doesn't
then.
sound like bad. I just need to make. I just want to.
Yeah, but
Does
if
it
you're
sound good? Yes.
but if
No.
you're
That's it.
distracted by
I'm not
maintaining that when you're making content, you're
I'm not
distracted from the
distracted by
content.
it. I'm just looking at it
Stop
because
looking
I
it's
at
just
it.
there.
learned
What the
yesterday that I had an improperly set up limiter on my stream audio and my VOD audio for the past 6 months.
Oh yeah, I had that a long time ago where I had to rehash my entire audio setup because I realized that everything was hella compressed and all fucked up and crunchy, and I was like, oh, oops. Haha.
I'm sure that I'm streaming wrong. Like I guarantee like if somebody who knows OBS or like knows streaming good looked at my setup, they'd be like, everything about this is bad.
I
I
want to see
only
your
just
setup so bad now.
I only just found out about like the VOD audio stuff that you can do.
Oh?
All of my audio is coming, like all of my desktop audio, my like the music that's playing, the VR chat itself are all they were all just going through one audio thing. So I would have to
Oh,
figure out how to make it
Boshi.
not sound bad.
Oh, Boshi. You silly boy.
I have different audio stuff and I have to reset up like Discord audio and fucking
I
YouTube
can
audio
fix him.
every time.
I can
I don't know if you
fix
can.
him. I can fix him. I know I can. I really believe I can fix him. I can fix him. This is so fucked up. What the fuck, man?
I have I
What
I,
the
on, I
fuck?
only I only had one scene for the first 4 years of streaming.
Yo, same. Well, 3 years
Yeah.
maybe.
Well,
Well,
Okay, I can't say shit, but I was streaming art, so I feel like that's different.
she didn't know what nested scenes were for a long time, and I still don't know what that is.
What?
Like,
Oh
I
what is a
my-
streamed for
nested?
like
What
3
the
or 4
fuck
I
does
can
years
it
without
fix
mean?
them
nested
both. I
scenes.
can fix them both. I can fix them both. I can fix them both. I swear I can. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, what the
Yeah, many have tried.
fuck?
Many have failed.
Oh my god. I'm gonna fix you guys so good. I'm gonna make everything fucking better.
Good luck.
I need it. Thank you.
Good luck.
Please.
My hoodie is getting soaked. Don't.
This is what
wipe
happens
your
when you
nose
leave
on my-
VRC for an extended period of time.
Hmm?
Rose,
What?
What?
it's for
Huh?
you. What Sia
what?
said.
This is what happens when you leave VR chat for an extended period of time. This has nothing to do with VR chat, everything to do with OBS. Don't fucking come at me with that shit, bro. What the hell are you talking about? Nuh-uh.
It'd be nice
I
to
see
see
a-
you around more, though.
Well,
I'm
I
not
mean,
telling you
now
you
that
need
I'm
to play more.
I know you're not, but like now that I'm in like what's it called? My own place now. I feel like I would be more inclined to hop on more often. And I'm not saying like all the time, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
even just like once a month or something. Like I could hop on or some shit. Come say hi and all that.
It's fun to hang out with you, and you normally on stream,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
you don't get that opportunity.
I don't remember what it was, but there was this time I think I went to Bao's VR chat debut party once upon a time. It was like months and months ago at this point. But I remember afterwards I saw you on and a bunch of other people, and I went to whatever world you all were hanging out with, and I was just laying there until like fucking 4 a.m. or some shit.
Oh, that's
And I
when
was
we were
like,
at the Twin
damn.
Towers.
Oh my fucking
Oh,
god! Is that what that
yeah.
map
Yeah,
was?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was the World Trade
I
Center.
just thought it was a random city. I didn't even make the
No,
connection.
those
Oh
were
my
the
god,
Twin
fuck
Towers.
Sure about that.
you!
Oh my god.
What?
What is wrong with you? Why is that a world in this fucking game?
It is a very respectful world. Excuse me. It has nothing to do
Yeah.
with the
Why is
the
that
bad
a
thing.
world
It's
in this
simply just
game?
a recreation of the Twin Towers. That's all that it is.
Yeah.
Why were
What
you
do you-
hanging out
Why is that such a bad world
there?
to you?
It's not a bad word. I'm just surprised it's in VR chat.
Well, it's there.
What the fuck?
I will be honest,
Then
I would
again-
be more surprised if it wasn't in VR chat.
Exactly.
I understand like shit like McDonald's and like restaurants are in VR chat and whatchamacallit, that one oh there's a world for that one house that was on real estate for like a million years, and like the goal was to find the bathtub because it was so confusing and like a giant maze.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
There's that
Yeah.
place in VR chat. So yeah, I guess it shouldn't be that surprising. I just never thought about it.
I mean, it's
Huh.
a culturally relevant place.
Mm-mm-mm. I mean, one of the like biggest hotspots early in the day was Japan Shrine. So I mean, like that's also like a cultural place, like aesthetically. So I guess it makes sense. I just never
Exactly.
thought about it. Someone should
Dude,
make a world
okay.
that recreates the events of Chernobyl. The events of it?
No,
Well,
no,
not
no.
the event.
Have
you
you
can definitely
seen
find
the
there are
HBO
multiple
documentary?
Chernobyl maps.
Huh?
What?
Have you seen the HBO Chernobyl documentary? Like the
No, but it's on my list of things I want to watch.
fucking amazing. You have to watch it.
Whoa.
It's also a very, very accurate like depiction of what went down in the correct order. And, like it's staying very, very historically correct.
Whoa.
Have you seen
I
it?
think I'd like it. What? No, I told you I didn't.
I like seeing
No,
stuff I'm
yeah,
not
I just want
supposed to
to.
see, and so knowing that I legitimately cannot go there and see that makes me want to see it. It's very cat behavior, and
Yeah.
I understand that. But if I'm not allowed to know something, I'm not allowed to see something or whatever, I immediately want to know about it or see it like infinitely more.
Yeah. But Chernobyl in specific, even though I'm
Mm,
Swedish, that event is something that extremely affected Sweden because
Yeah.
to start off, the actual like event was first discovered because it was detected in Sweden, like radioactive material
Oh.
particles.
Really?
But specifically, a lot of Sweden's forests up north, especially in like one specific region, was
Huh.
super heavily affected to the point where it was recommended to not pick berries in those regions. And
Oh God.
without getting too specific, I do have relatives who have picked berries from those regions. So for me, it
Do
was
you
like
think that explains
extremely
anything for you?
Yeah, is that why you are the way that you are?
potentially, but
I'm teasing, to be clear.
I'm not.
You're
I would not
such a
be surprised if
dickhead.
it played a part. Okay, I love blueberries.
See?
I love them.
I mean, I fell down the stairs as a kid and hit my head on an outward facing corner, so I feel like that probably contributed to why I'm like how I am.
I hit my head growing up as well.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
No
that's
so
the
joke.
most
relatable.
I was like inches from losing an eye, like straight up.
I have a scar on my forehead from it.
I
Wow.
I don't.
It's very tiny and not easy to see, but it's there.
I never hit my head, but I did. I hurt my. I hurt my mouth.
What were you doing with your mouth, huh?
Well, I was lying down, face first on a skateboard on a
You
not
fucking
great
idiot.
not great New Jersey sidewalk. Um,
Oh.
and I went. It stopped. Like it hit one of the steps, and I went forwards. And my arms were back to my sides. And
How bossy.
I didn't have my two front teeth at the time because I was a child.
Uh-huh.
So I went gum first onto the pavement.
Oh, you special boy.
It helped my two front teeth growing
That
though.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that
lot
is
of blood, lot of blood.
I fucked up my mouth when I was a kid too, but I was at my grandma's house and it was one of those things where it's like a flight of stairs that goes up and then a platform and then up, and
Yeah.
I was at the very top, and I was standing there and I was gonna go downstairs and I fell down the stairs face first and I opened my mouth to scream, and there was a little piece of wood sticking out of one of the stairs and I cut my tongue open on it and I was just bleeding
Oh,
from the mouth everywhere. It was disgusting. And I think I have a scar on my tongue for it because I can see like a line going down my tongue where there's just like a slight split more than the normal seam of my tongue. And I don't know if it's actually a scar or not. What the fuck is happening?
That's a
There's some
cat.
fucking freak in the floor.
It's a cat.
Are you in your fucking... Those belong outside. Fuck
What?
you. Get the fuck away from me. I have skates on. I'll kick you with them.
It's a cat.
it's a
I need to-
cat.
I need to talk about this. Come up here. Come up a little bit. Okay. You see this? You see this fucking freak here? You see this? This bitch has a hammock indoors. Hammocks belong outside. This is not an indoor activity. Girl.
Hammocks are the new thing in VR chat. It was yoga balls for a long time.
Yeah,
It
I was
seems to
gonna
be
say what
hammocks
happened
now.
to yoga balls.
Yeah. Well, they're
You
moving
know what
on.
it is?
They've
People got
evolved.
lazier. They didn't want to bounce anymore.
You know, I can't tell you you're wrong.
Yeah.
Hi. You stupid ass.
I'd love a hammock. It looks so comfy.
I want
I
a
don't-
hammock
I-
outside.
I have a weird thing. I don't like swinging. Like as a kid,
What the
I
fuck
didn't
is
like
wrong
this.
with you?
As a
Wait,
kid,
What?
I didn't like swings.
Did you like the thing where it's like a circle and then you spin it and it has the bar so you can hold on and it's like
No,
a
I didn't like that
merry-go-round?
either.
You didn't
I
like that? That was my
Merry-go-round?
no,
favorite
and I don't like
thing.
elevators. There's something about like
You don't like
moving at a
elevators? What
rapid.
the fuck is?
Yes. I when I'm in an elevator, I like grip for dear life on the bars. Just something about it. Like especially like when an elevator goes up or down, when it comes to a rest where it goes a little bit more and then I don't like
that
that.
feeling.
No, I hate that feeling. So I don't like
I
hammocks
actually
and
like
swings.
that feeling.
No, I don't
Hmm.
like it. It's something weird.
Hmm.
I can't explain it whatsoever. I just don't like it.
You're a freak.
I'm not a freak.
Oh my god, this is why you want a tall, strong woman so she can hold you in the elevator. All makes sense now.
I want anybody to hold me, okay? And it's not just like
I'll
listen,
hold
you said
Here,
you said
I'll
that,
hold
like
you.
at the moment, but maybe now the moment I want like a shorter a tomboy, rough and tumble but has a softer side. Or maybe I want like a smaller feminine man who's in touch with his softer side. There's numerous different things that I'm into.
I don't want to hold you anymore. You rejected me.
I didn't reject you. I was explaining my point.
I'm gonna hold Radiant instead. You hate me.
Yeah, you've got Radiant on your lap. You're fine.
You hate me.
I don't hate
Why
you.
does he hate me?
If anything,
What did
you
I
hate
do?
me.
I
You
love
hate
you,
me.
bitch.
You hate me for assuming that I hate you. The
I don't
fact that
hate
you
you
would
for that. I'm
the
just sad
fact that
about it.
you would even
I
think that
am
I would
just
hate you
vibing.
is
I'm
a
actually
disgrace to our
gonna do
friendship.
something here.
So you love me then?
I'm gonna
Love is a
rate
strong
Boshi.
word, and I use it for
The
very
podcast
select people.
is going to continue,
Oh.
In that people that
but
Time to
I'm
break
gonna
some
rate
games.
Boshi.
romantic feelings for.
Just
Oh, well, I don't want
help
all
out a
that.
little
I just
bit.
wanted
Yeah.
to hold you like as a homie.
Yeah,
Um,
with the
I will
exception
make an
of like
announcement to say that
my
it's gonna
immediate
continue
family, and even then,
his
it
stream.
still feels weird to say that I love them.
So you
If
really,
like
really, really,
So,
really, really, really
just so you
like
guys
me
know,
then?
I really appreciate
Sure.
all of you. Thank you
A
all for
lot?
being here today.
Yes,
I will
Like a
send you guys
lot, a
over to
lot?
Boshi, and
I enjoy your
we're gonna
friendship.
continue having
But like a
podcasts
bunch of
for
it.
probably another hour, maybe two.
I don't see your friendship enough to
And
enjoy it
later
enough.
tonight, afterwards, I will be streaming
Maybe
a
if
Better
you
Call
weren't
Saul
so
in the
scared
Discord.
of DMing
So if you
me.
haven't
I just
joined
don't
already,
DM most
definitely do that.
people.
Thank
Seldom
you all
do I
so much for
DM
being
people.
here. Thank you all for being part of this amazing community.
If you looked
and
at my DMs, you'd see like the same 20
just
people
everything.
at the top,
I
and
really
like nobody
appreciate
else.
every single one of you. You guys are awesome.
What do you want to talk about? What do we have
I
to
will
talk
be back
about?
tomorrow. We have a Only
I
Neckles
don't-
collab.
I
Marvel Rivals.
I'm not good at initiating conversation in a text format.
Well, I don't
I
think
don't
there's anything
initiate
else.
those
So
people. Those people usually initiate me.
take care, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Enjoy the
9 times out of
podcast.
10, a DM with me is initiated by the other person.
Still need
If
to
I
plan
DM
rivals.
you,
Yep,
answer at any time of the day.
we'll get to that.
If I'm asleep or at work, probably not.
There we go.
Why?
Thank you all
Because I'm
so
asleep
much
or at work.
for everything. You guys
So?
are fucking amazing.
So I don't have
You're the
immediate,
best
easy
community in the
access to my
entire
phone
goddamn world
or computer.
not?
by far.
Because I'm unconscious or at
I'm
work.
gonna make you guys
I used to text
an
during work
award
all the
for that.
time
I
when
sometimes
I had a normal job.
if I'm able to
Yeah.
to have that a moment of
Hi.
respite to answer something
There we
on my
go.
phone, I will.
The
But
customer
I
can
cannot.
wait.
It's not customers. It's warehouse work.
There we go.
The warehouse can wait.
Alright.
No, I'll get fired.
They need to get their priorities straight.
They need to get a lot of stuff straight.
Damn.
But believe me, if I could not work
Thank
at
you
a
all so
job
much for
and
today.
like
Thank
make
you for being
streaming my
here.
full-time thing,
I will see
I
you
would.
all.
The problem is you need to make a substantial amount of money
I'll make
and
an announcement
reliability
in the
from
Discord here in a
streaming
moment.
in order to go full-time. And
Go
I'm
give
aware
the
of that.
Benoy a bunch of love and support. He's
So
awesome.
it'll be a long time before I would ever even be
He's
able
an
to
amazing
think
content
about
creator. I think he's
going
gonna go
full-time
for.
streaming.
He's-
Can I help you?
He needs the. He needs his moment to shine, and he will go
Hello?
for.
Yeah? Yeah?
I just wanted to see
I-
what you would do.
I don't
Thank
blink.
you.
Oh my god,
It's
you
a-
don't blink. Why is that?
Because I just don't.
Aren't your eyes dry?
I can close them.
Why don't you blink then?